We are live.
Yay.
So, the boy, my original co-host, is abandoning me forever.
It's not untrue.
Mhm.
It's not forever. I'll visit. I'll be back.
Say that now.
Mhm.
Yeah, he'll be back on the 7th Tuesday of February.
Yeah. Well, in all seriousness, he's headed across the
By
country.
the way, has somebody's cooking.
So,
He's not really heading across the country. He's going down. Across the country is what I did. California to Wisconsin. That's across the country.
going across the country. You know, there's more than one way to cross the country.
You know?
You can go from north to south and you're crossing.
You want to know what's really funny?
What?
I consider crossing the country when it takes more than a single day to get there.
Well, that's because you want to be special.
No, because it takes 3 frickin' days to get here from California. It takes 18 hours to get to Valdosta from where we're at.
Why driving?
If you're driving, California, a couple hours.
Actually, if you're lucky, it's a 5.5-hour flight.
Anyhow,
You know.
the boy is leaving.
Yep. He's abandoning his family. And his dog.
And in the nature of that, we're here to talk about.
Him in front of his face instead of behind his back.
Well, no, but we're here to not just talk about him. I mean, I talk about him enough anyhow in front of him. No, actually, what we're talking about.
No, he does not have the corona, by the way, for those of you who notice him back here sniffling. Allergies. Allergies are kicking our family's ass.
I'm so happy because I don't have any allergies.
This is why. That right there. And just for those of you who are wondering, yes, it is completely possible for a wife to live in a separate situation, housing from her husband. I actually know a couple of people who've done that. Saved their marriage, strangely enough.
Yeah.
I used to accuse my ex-husband saying, hey, that'll work for us. Go get yourself a girlfriend and let me move out.
Yeah. Let's take it into him.
I'm wrong because I'm popping my girlfriend.
Whatever.
Anyhow, so in all seriousness, what we're talking about though today is Warhammer when you're apart. So, my lovely son introduced me to
Tabletop Simulator.
Tabletop Simulator.
Which we then introduced many of our viewers to.
We talked about it. So basically, why don't you, Ray, talk about the basics?
All right. So one of the like main things of Tabletop Simulator is it allows you to really like build whatever you want for it. As long as you have the archive that the Tabletop Simulator Warhammer community has, you really can build almost any army you could imagine, like on normal tabletop.
I built a couple already. I built a really cool Chaos army that I've been wanting to play.
It really gives you the tools that you don't really have most of the time because, you know, money and time to build. But it doesn't let you do the other things in the hobby, which is, you know, building and painting and all that. So you win some, you lose some of that.
I think it would be a
Then
great.
again,
Oh, sorry.
to be entirely fair, if you're good at modeling, like 3D modeling, you could technically like do that and do the same thing with your army. But when someone like me who has no idea how any of that works, kind of stuck with what you got.
Okay.
which is fair.
So basically, on Steam, there's a game called Tabletop Simulator. And then, is it an add-on or is it a?
It's workshop content. So
So
like community made, like the community itself makes this stuff, and you download it. Like you subscribe on Steam, it downloads it onto your game, and then you can use it from there. And like the Tabletop Simulator Warhammer community is actually fairly big. Like I'm on the Discord server for it. It's really nice. There's a lot of nice people there that will not only teach you how to play it on Tabletop Simulator, but also they'll teach you how to play the game normally itself too. Like you can ask questions there, they can answer rules questions.
Now, the thing to understand about Tabletop Simulator, it does not replace the rules. It does not figure out the rules for you. All it really does is it creates a virtual table. You still have to know how your figures work. You still got to have your codexes. You still have to have your army lists, and you have to do all the building outside of the game so that you know what you're playing with. So you still, it's not just a matter of, oh, I plug this in and it's Warhammer Online. It's not how it works.
Yeah. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Plus, you can either build the maps or you can get some of the pre-made maps that people have made, but they're still like, you have to set the board up, you have to get another player, you have to write up your list, get all the figures for it. It's not just you can like sit down and immediately play. You do have to like put some work in to really make it work. But once you put that work in, it works amazing. Now there are of course issues because like collision and all that is super weird in certain instances. But again, it is one of the only mediums I have seen to be able to play like real Warhammer without physically being there.
Now, keep in mind, it is not endorsed by Games Workshop and obviously not supported by Games Workshop. All the models are fan-made sculpts. And again, all the rules, you need the rules. You need the rule books. You need to be able to do the list building. You need to know what the rules of your figures are. They're just basically virtual objects that you put on a table, and you can grab your mouse and use them to move units.
Yeah.
There's rulers you can set up so you can mark where things go.
Which is really helpful if you happen to be far apart.
Or, like right now, where we're stuck, trapped.
Corona.
I will smack you with a phone.
You know
hear this?
You will.
You hear this? A boost. A boost.
Yeah, you're getting out.
And not a single one of our viewers is going to feel bad for you because I give him worse.
You know. But yeah.
How many times they've asked me not to shank him?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
She struck me on stream. I have proof.
It's called video.
So, but yeah, overall, it's just a great application you can use to really like connect with your people that you don't have with you, or when you're quarantined.
Because you don't have your, you don't have your people around you. I don't think that needs a qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know,
She's not wrong.
I understand, but I'm trying to explain.
With more words than are necessary. Are you a word bearer secretly?
Heretic.
Because you use a lot more words that are really necessary, and that sounds kind of like a Lorgar. And you're awful worshipy of the Emperor, so which is
You're,
against the rules that Gulaman and all of them, and the Emperor himself put down.
So you're a little
That's some
judgmental,
numbers.
like most of the Marines. Maybe we should nail you to a golden chair. Fit the same description as the Corpse Emperor. Anyway,
That's a really nice, very pleasant compliment you just gave me by basically naming me the most powerful psyker in the known universe, and I'm better than the Emperor, so I can replace him.
You said that.
no, it's not. You know what? I was making a reference to an actual canon word bear, and you know what, never mind. Elpheus is the best.
Lorgar did nothing wrong.
No, that is not true. But Erebus did everything. That
Erebus is the best word bearer.
Erebus is actually the worst.
He's the best bear.
He's actually the reason for all of the Imperium suffering.
Which makes him the best word bearer. Keep in mind that if I don't make my Red Corsairs,
Oh God.
I want to make my Chaos Army word bearers. Because if you're going to be evil, don't do it halfway. Go full
He's the
throttle.
himself.
Oh,
You
Fabius Bile.
see, that's the other way. I'm actually now that they've announced the War of the Spider, I'm actually holding off on doing anything with my
And the
Chaos.
fact that Fabian's got his own
He
Primaris ties.
may have his own Primaris Marines.
Yeah, we haven't confirmed it yet, but there is something called the Agents of Vile, which, and some leaked screenshots, may be hinting towards the Primaris version of a Chaos Marine, and they all work for Fabian. That's terrifying to me.
Fabulous Bill.
Considering
Bill,
Fabius
Bill.
is using Primarch's DNA and anything he can get his hands on, and currently his butt is on Cadia, which has got the hi
Hello. Oh,
Geyser,
hi.
which has got both a group of Custodes and the Death Guard are on
A
there.
group of the
Talons.
the Talons. So it's not just Custodes; it's Custodes and Sisters of Silence.
Are on Cadia, and they're all hunting for his
The
ass.
shattered remains of Cadia, and yeah.
And both sides are looking for him. Wow, hi, how you doing?
So yeah,
Let's hope he dies.
He's not.
the other thing that would be great is that the reason I really kind of like this whole reason I kind of like the whole tabletop simulator is because I've made a lot of good friends over in the UK, and I would love to play a game with some of them.
Geyser, geez, Big D, you have even less hair. What happens next week? You taking off the top layer of skin? Hello, Warmut.
Next week I start putting in the service studs.
I'm going back to my elves.
He's gonna put in a crowd of pain.
So, yeah. He's over here building, so for those of you who came late, he's over here building a Mech Boy workshop.
The video was up. I had to take it down and put a new upload of it.
I had to point out to him that it was messing up on him.
My
I was like,
sound.
where's the sound going? What's with this happy, dorky music?
I mean, yeah, the music and the sound and everything was really jacked up on it.
And the dork back here, who's, abandoning his family, is here to talk about tabletop simulators, Warcraft add-on that is very good for playing when you are far away from your loved ones and friends or our internet buddies, or as he likes to point out repeatedly, in quarantine. And then we accused him of being a word bearer because he likes to use more words than are necessary.
And the fact that Lorgar did nothing wrong.
You've lost 2 viewers. Thank you.
You know what?
What you've done, Father. You have built.
Okay,
Some
so
people weren't meant to handle the truth. Yeah, I'm gonna.
that the Emperor is actually the 5th god of chaos. He's actually Malal. No, Malal right there.
No, he's not Malal. He ate Malal, absorbed his power.
Ooh, we're only 4 subs away. I did not know that. I
Yes.
haven't looked recently. Sorry.
4. That's got to be 4 subs away. I need 4 subscribers.
Stop being a dick. Wait, you can't.
Have you seen my head?
I oftentimes tell him just because you have it doesn't mean you need to be it.
Hey,
I'm ignored.
Tabletop simulator.
tabletop
It's a great application for you and your friends to use.
simulator.
Do not go
Infomercial.
infomercial. But
Infomercial.
ignored.
I'm gonna just go back to painting.
You're all good, mutt mutt.
And it's almost always on sale on Steam. Like, it's really cheap for what you're getting out of it.
It isn't almost. Okay, where's my white scarf?
And while we are focusing on the Warhammer for this, there are other games you can play on it too.
Absolutely. I know
Like,
there's a lot of also official games that are on it.
Was that a question? Anybody see my hair? I'm sure I had some.
I had some at one point. It went with my mind. It left. Lost them both.
He lost it when he married me.
he had lost it a long time before that.
His error is mine.
Both.
You know
For the
what?
first time.
Be aware, Ray.
This is hereditary.
Around the time that thing came into existence.
Action.
I think it was a little bit more 4 years before that.
Okay, we're done. Moving on.
Just so you know, Ray,
Uh,
you have this. You get to look forward to this.
It is hereditary.
we'll see.
I know.
No, we know it's hereditary.
It's so no computer pull electricity knocks and then
So anyway,
That's right.
one of the other cool things you can do with Tabletop Simulator is it really does allow a lot more, like, there's a lot more terrain features you can kind of fit in that, like, are, like, you can't currently get. You'd have to, like, 3D print or anything like that. And just, there's a whole lot of stuff you could do with it that it really does open up a lot of avenues for
This has been
you.
brought to you by Monster. Please sponsor us. Continue.
Uh,
wait, where?
For example, like I've used it to teach a large part of my gaming group how to play Warhammer.
Which is awesome. I mean, it's a great way to introduce people to the game.
All right.
So you're pretty new. You not know everybody is. Okay, so we'll do a quick roll.
Gonna,
We'll do a quick roll call here, just so everybody knows. Everybody knows I'm Big D, founder of this channel. This is Lady D,
Lady Dragon.
a neophyte who has been in the game for less than a year and is still the best painter in this household.
Oh, what?
You.
Best painter in this household.
Uh,
Yeah, you're a better painter than I am.
You're Emo.
You are a better painter than I am.
We will have this debate at another time.
This is my son, Ray.
Co-host.
Former co-host. When I originally started doing the live streaming, he was actually my original co-host. And then he decided he didn't want to play Warhammer 40K anymore. He has since changed his mind.
He just still doesn't want to paint.
He's just not sure about the painting. And when he was starting to get ready to move, he knew he didn't want to have to take it, which is why instead of charging him the normal rent and or room and board the last 2 months, I just simply waived that and bought his army off him with that money. So that's why I got an Imperial Guard army. Because Guard is the best.
Yeah.
In his mind.
The Imperial Guard will always be the best.
No, Orcs are best.
No, I'm sorry.
Orcs is best.
No.
And then on the far end there is the intermittent plague child. This is Vic, my other child, who is a Necrons player and is currently building a Necron Overlord. Wog is the best. See? Wog!
Filthy heretics.
Wog!
There was some jokes, by the way, Warmut, about making an orc group that are full of jacked Imperial armor, and they're like, "We are loyalists. Vulcan is the war boss. He is Big Bossa."
He's green. So, and yes, these are my kids. Ray here is leaving you for Georgia tomorrow.
Yes.
And we'll be moving across the country. It is across the country, just the southern and across the country. But Will is still in high school. So hopefully this coming year, they will be starting a Warhammer club at their school.
I actually have already talked to that teacher about it.
which would be super cool.
So yeah,
It's a bit of a family thing around here.
and that's the thing on the channel. It's all about family. You know, yeah.
Considering he hates the heat, this is going to be a lot of fun.
I don't hate the heat. I just prefer the cold.
Well, and that's the
Okay,
thing.
you're moving to Georgia.
And he's moving to Georgia. We'll
In
have,
Ohio and Georgia, going between the two at times.
and he'll be in Georgia, which will have both in the same day.
At least I don't have to worry about scorpions.
No, you just have to worry about Brian Recluse.
Actually, in Georgia, the worst thing you have to worry about is clay. No, clay.
Yeah.
Clay?
It's everywhere.
Red clay. It's what's for breakfast.
What's wrong with red clay?
Oh crap, Georgia, that's right.
Yep.
What's wrong with red clay? It gets everywhere.
You think sand's bad? That stuff's worse.
Red clay. It gets everywhere. It stains everything. Eventually, everything you own gets a slight red cast to it. Everything.
I'll make sure to bring some back for you, Will. Just coat you in it.
Well, here's the thing. I
You
was
bring
in
that shit in my
I was in the military, stationed in Georgia for 4 months. A year later, I was still washing it out of clothing I had.
So he's got that to look forward to.
So yeah.
We'll give him the nickname Peaches. I know he's got such a little cute face. He's so peachy.
Now that we cleaned him up, yes.
I much prefer the live streams, especially when they all have a laugh.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole thing, Kaiser. My live streams are not something I take seriously at all. I do them. I don't schedule. We have our scheduled Tuesday live streams.
There's a reason why these are called F-bits.
Yeah, it's one of those things. When I know I'm going to be at the bench for at least an hour, because we're all about community and we're all about building community and getting with people and spreading our love of the game. I mean, look at my wife. My wife had never played any sort of tactical war game before.
I played chess. Does that count?
No.
I'm horrible at it, by the way.
Had never painted figures before, had never played any sort of army game before, was never a thing, and introduced her, and
Took me a little bit to
really get into it. But now that she's into it, she's sucked into the lore and sucked into the humor and sucked into the internet portion of it. I mean, text-to-speech device is probably one of her favorite shows on the internet.
I'm constantly quoting it.
And she knows the lore. I get the books. She reads the books. She reads them more than I do. It's hilarious. So
Well, if one of the things they encourage their players to do is to write history and fiction based around your home brewed chapters and stuff like that, how can you do that if you don't know the world setting? I need to know the basic bones. I need to know the world. I need to know the Primarchs, what their chapters are like, their home world, stuff like that. And the best way to get that is through reading the fiction. But keeping in mind that all the fiction is basically can be attributed as to propaganda. So you look for those connecting pieces. I'm slightly obsessive about that. You should read my Doctor Who stories.
the lovely thing is that because my wife and I clicked because she is a fan. She is fanish community. We met playing a video game online, and we were into the fandom of that, and talking about that got us into the other fandom. And as I have introduced her to some of the fandoms that she had no contact with, some of them really connected for her. Doctor Who being one of them.
We're not going into that. So I'm pretty sure, Big D, you said, like yesterday, you were going to stop building.
How are they coming along? They are about 50% of the way through their color. I'm building the terrain because
He needs it for his armies on parade.
well, no.
See, I can't see. You've got an isopropyl right in the way, so I can't see anything that's.
I'm building the terrain
Okay, there we go.
because terrain doesn't count.
Okay, this is also gonna move. All right, now I can actually see the screen. Oh, really?
Let me move my airbrush.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrain doesn't count because I build terrain super fast, and I
He
actually
does a slapdash when it comes to their paint job, anyway.
I wouldn't say slapdash, but I have a very they're part of the army. They're very distinctly. I'm actually building it. I'm going to prime it and put it in the box because that's the next step. I have a huge box of terrain from my Speed Freaks box that I've started with, and since this stuff all matches that terrain, it's going in with that so I can paint it all at the same time because I want all the terrain to match. But yeah, these Goths, I mean, like I said, they're about halfway done. And the thing is, a couple of them were old and busted, so they had an arm busted off. So like a couple of them, I had to replace them with modern day orc arms, and that worked out really well. So I've got 2 of them that actually have this newer choppa on them. I love these, and I don't care if they're supposed to be Goths. In honor of them being Goths, though, originally Goths, their blue armor is surrounded. I mean, they've got black armor surrounded by the blue. It's going to be kind of a theme with the army. I'm doing them all in blue and white because that's my color scheme. But I'm adding in like the Goth, old school Goths are going to have black on them, and eventually, once these guys are all done, the next group of guys I'm going to do some Bad Moons. But the Bad Moons I'm going to do in yellow with blue as a secondary color because, as if you know the lore, Death Skulls are thieves. They're like massive. Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually. The Nurgling.
Oh, the Nurgling?
He has a Nurgling. Oh, that's right. I forget. It's it's like early evening out there.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's 6 hours later there. It's like all 8 o'clock
Buddy.
there. Yeah, take care of the Nurgling, buddy. Hey, we're all you guys on here, and I'm always happy to chat with people. And we'll probably be here for a couple hours, honestly.
Yeah.
We always seem to be. But it's good to see you,
We'll be
Kaiser.
here for an hour or two. And
Yeah.
then suddenly it's well.
So yeah, as long as I was explaining, I might as well explain it. I'm going to be doing eventually some Bad Moons. I'm going to be making. Yeah, I like that. See, I like that with that ghostly green. See what I mean?
It's a ghost.
Um,
Ghost. Ghost.
This ghost is gonna fucking kill you, dude.
Mhm.
You notice the axe?
There we go.
So anyhow,
Badly
I'm
kids.
eventually when I'm done with my army, I'm going to do a single battalion, no brigade, the little one, the battalion. It's going to be 3 squads of 20, 3 squads of 20 boys, and a war boss and a weird boy, and they're gonna be all in blue. They're gonna be a yellow, but they're gonna have blue all over it because Death Skulls are known to be thieves, and they're sneaky, and they're conniving, lying bastards. So they're literally going to have lied to these Bad Moons, telling them, "Oh no, you're with us now. You're Death Skulls. Yeah, your boss said so. You're with us now." And so they stole a couple units of other orcs to increase their WAD. So that's the idea. They're yeah, you're with us now. We are? Yeah, come on.
Boss has said so.
Okay.
What? I can't do it proper.
Talking to orcs.
So they're gonna be hilarious, but they're very specific. The build I'm doing for them is it's gonna be 3 units of 20 boys with shooters, and 1 in every 10 will have a big shooter. So they're mainly a big, we're gonna gun it down type squad. No choppers. They're all about just shooting and shooting and shooting. Yeah, the war boss is gonna have a. I believe I'm doing him with a combi rocket if I did the build right. And I want to have another weird boy because. Hey, howdy. Not sure which one you are, but I'm good to see either one of you. Oh, there it is. That is my Mythos. Hey there, beautiful man. Oh,
Hey, sexy beast.
You sexy creature, you.
Uh,
Well, you should have seen the stuff I said that freak last night. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Did we get the sexy music and the sexy voice?
Oh
going
yeah,
on?
it was going on because we were
And sexy Oni was on too.
well, because he started talking about how he was painting yellow. And he was like, getting all, oh yeah, that's the color coming in. And he had to put on the sexy music because the yellow was getting so good. And I'm like, yeah, now I'm picturing Dorn in a yellow bow tie and
That's it.
and then the Chippendales. And it's like, and then he
I
started
gotta draw that now.
no, what's worse is he started talking using Dorn's voice, but he was talking like Dorn with like a Texas accent. So it's Rogel Hausdorn.
Yeah, I could have written a whole lot about that.
Hausdorn. It was pretty funny though. It was a good time. It was a good time last night. I always love Frost and Fist. It's such a great time. Even when I can't get the whole stream, I got to get in there for some of it because it's just too much fun in there. Which is why I got to bug you guys to see if you guys want a guest next week. Because I would really, really love to pop on next week Friday and hang out with you guys for the day or the evening. No, don't ruin my thing.
He needs to hang out with two young studs.
Well, again, as I made clear in the Mech Boy Workshop video, Commodore gave this to me as a birthday present because next week Friday is my birthday. So it's not like me being rejected would, hurt my
Don't
feelings.
start that shit.
It's okay. Okay. But that's the thing. The whole idea originally is that we were actually going to have a really big party for my birthday next weekend.
But
And then Corona. So, I mean, honestly, when we first started talking about this, Lady D was actually talking about renting a hall at the Elks Club for it.
So I can invite all of our friends.
And we were going to have a big, like, mini gaming convention type birthday party.
Yep.
Where I could set up, like, both of my custom Warcry tables. All right, I would appreciate that. And that was the thing. It was one of those, this Corona thing. My man, Spect.
Nurgle is showing love for your birthday. Yes,
Yeah. Nurgle's like, you're my favorite, so I'm going to give everybody this, so they have to be home. Thanks, Dad, I think.
Grandfather.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, except I'm the equivalent of a Primarch, because I'm that awesome.
I think even Mortarion calls him Grandfather.
No. Mortarion calls him.
Same just goes.
He's my daddy.
There's getting a little bit too much flash in this Nurgle chat.
I would. That's part of the reason I want to do a army. I mean, Chaos Army, just the crossing of Nurgle and yeah, that's the stuff of nightmares right there.
Is it really bad? I suddenly had the idea of doing a shirt with Nurgle with one of the different 4 shirts. Each one has a different Chaos God, and all it says on it is, "Who's your daddy?"
You know what would actually be better?
I intend to
Do
do
them
it.
in chibi form. Chibi Chaos Gods. That would be either that or do kawaii.
Corn has a fucking axe. Way too big for him. Just
you need a
like
heretic shirt.
No, just doing kawaii.
Yeah, you can see.
Kawaii schoolgirl versions of the 4 Chaos Gods.
That would be My Little Pony. That idea came from a dear friend of mine who apparently loves reading fanfics, especially there was one that he saw that was a My Little Pony crossover with Lemon Rush.
Yeah, there is apparently the largest fan fiction ever written. It's a time jumping.
Yeah. Well, I would like to point out that Pinkie Pie is Slanesh.
No. No.
No.
No. No.
Oh,
I refuse.
it's yeah. Considering at one point Pinkie Pie decides to shoot a planet with a party bazooka because they're not happy enough. Twitchy twitch.
I don't like this one.
What do the instructions say?
It just says attach.
Then attach it.
Yeah.
It just has arrows.
Well, then you'll have to put it aside. I can help you after the stream. Or you can ask your mother.
In the middle of painting green on a
Too much green in this house.
Green's awesome.
wrong shade of green.
Too much green.
I did enjoy the roller bases. Thank you, Spec. Thank you very much. That's why I'm doing this stuff right now, because my orcs are getting close. Yeah, my orcs are getting close. I love my orcs. And I want to be able to what?
So who's your daddy? There has to be a fifth one. The Emperor.
Mhm.
Not
What
the
I
corpse.
said.
Not the corpse one.
I said
Mhm.
that.
Who's your daddy?
Mhm.
Yeah, just-
So- I mean, these are all ideas for merch that are coming out later.
I've got a list. I actually have a list of shirt ideas. Considering Hellchild wants me to do a shirt of a dragon that's being hit by dice. You see dice being thrown off screen, just smacking it. He thinks that would be funny. And I'm like, I don't disagree.
I don't really either. I actually have some other ideas for doing some more with the cork. I mean, I've seen people do effects with cork, and they've come out well.
Who the hell will wear Emperor Who's Your Daddy shirt?
I think there's a lot more that can be done with cork than some of the ways people use it. I think there's honestly an over-reliance on just putting thick hunks of cork down and just saying, oh, look, I built rock. I think there's a bunch of cooler ways to try and use it as like thinner sheets. I've also seen a lot of slate. I don't know that I want figures to weigh that much, but I don't know. At the same time, I've seen some slate basing. Actually, who was it I just saw? Luke's APS. Luke's APS just did a video where he's literally using Sculptamold and slate on Imperial Guard figures for Kachik, and I'm almost like, that's a little much for a little tiny figure, isn't it?
I saw a friend of mine was showing me their figures that have like they're Kriegers, but like they're like up to like their boots in mud and like grime and stuff, and it's like it looks so cool because like some of them are like a little bit higher out of it, some of them are, and it has this really cool effect to it because it looks like it looks like a World War I like army. So that's what it looks like. Like they're like trench warfare. It's so freaking cool.
That was the thing. I did see someone. I saw someone do a Krieg army where they put all the guys. They're like this. The EU specifically pose where they're all like this, and the bases are built so they're on a trench, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's so cool.
Um,
like there's another one where like they have like little sandbags at the bottom of their base.
yeah.
Oh, it's such a cool effect.
I wish I liked the Krieg better. I'm not actually a fan of their aesthetic. Um, I'm far more of a. Honestly, I'm not even a really. I like the Cadians, but only somewhat. I when I'm done with my army, because I'm working on them and I repainted them. I think a lot of people have seen my tanks. I painted them to look like World War II Americans. I actually.
Sorry in the dark.
Go check the. I want to do. I actually want to do an entire my entire Imperial Guard army. I want to make it look like a World War II American infantry. So I'm going with, you know, the black boots, the plain khaki army greens with the green helmet, brown rifles. So I want to actually make my guys look like they're World War II Allied forces, because I just think it's a great aesthetic. So what's that there?
That would be the Kinder.
Oh, why is she knocking?
Because the screen was locked.
Oh,
Well,
I don't know who would have done that.
I repainted on myself while I was at it.
nice.
I did it because I was making sure the dog couldn't get out while the door was.
Yeah.
It's not.
It looks fine.
So anyway,
So anyway, yeah. I mean, that's why I want to do my aesthetic for my Imperial Guard when I finally get to them. I did their tanks. I'll get to the guys after I'm done. They're actually the next army in the can. After I'm done with these orcs. The orcs got to come first. I want to get all the orcs I currently own done first. And after these 80 I've got done, okay, so I've got 80 built right now that are built and primed. When they're all done, I have 2 boxes of Ludas to do and the Apocalypse box. Give me the Apocalypse box.
yeah, you got an apocalypse box, boys.
Right, directly behind you. It's directly behind you. To your other side there. Against the wall.
Oh.
I got an Apocalypse box. So 6 kilocans, 2 dreads, a mech, and a big mech with a shock attack gun. I didn't know there was a mech in this army. I actually didn't have him in my army list, but I will add him in. This is actually was planned for, and I love kilocans. They're just such fun models. So they're making me think about doing a group, like if I do a smaller army, like for a smaller unit, because I've got 40 Gretchen that are part of that 80 I got to do. Half of them are literally, I've got 40 Gretchen to do. I'm thinking about doing an army with 40 Gretchen and then the 6 kilocans and do an entire that new Gretchen detachment they're talking about. IG is about having a lot of dudes. I love my Cadians, but they are slow to play, a bit like orcs, rolling hundreds of dice every turn, none of which are especially effective. Yeah, and that's the thing. My Imperial Guard's a little different. It's different than the standard Imperial. Yeah, I want to do the Grout Army. My Imperial Guard build is actually very different. As a military man myself, as ex-military, I'm making my Cadian army reflect the unit I was in. So lots of armor. I actually probably shouldn't do them as Cadian. I should probably do them more as Talar.
I would like to point out that his unit, this man here got a medal for breaking a Humvee.
So yeah, I broke vehicles. I was a driver, and I broke them and didn't get people hurt. So yeah, I mean, my idea is to do like a massive fast, speedy armored column. So I actually thought about doing them as Tallarn.
If one's fast and speedy, what talent? I don't know.
And a few Conquest. Prospero. I thought Prospero had I thought the burning. You mean the burning of Prospero? Because I thought that was
Burning Prospero.
yeah, burning Prospero screws. I thought that was Thousand Suns and Wolves of the burning of Prospero box. Shock attack guns. Yeah.
See, like if you weren't going for fast, then yeah, go Kagan to just put more shots down range with your tanks.
Well, yeah. I mean that's the thing. I'm still kind of going back and forth on that one because I could do Cadians and just go stupid with the tanks. Like if I go Cadians, then I can have 3 tank commanders in an army plus have Pask and then have 9 more Layman Russes. So I can put 13 Layman Russes on the board.
Yeah.
And that would be fun for me. I love the idea of just putting are you kidding? And then using my putting minimum squads in each of a bunch of what do you call them? The transports.
What I mean.
Chimera.
The Chimeras with the las cannons and just run them around, just full speed shooting, just running around, gun. The vehicle goes, the 10 guys jump out, and everybody just starts unloading. The Talon are a lot of fun if you're willing to play kind of fast. I saw an with 13 Layman Russes, including commanders and Pask, you don't get. If you say you don't get enough shots, the answer is you make sure you don't get no dudes. Yeah, that's the thing. It's mainly an army of It's a mainly army of tanks running around, just going nuts with tanks. I don't have that. I don't have enough tanks yet. I only have.
Don't have enough tanks.
Well, no, I don't have enough tanks yet. I currently only have. It's the maximum tanks you can have in an ITC legal army is 13 Layman Russes because you would have 9 plus 3 plus Pask. I currently own 5 or 6, although one of them is a completely custom build. So, well, and that's the thing, man. When I'm building figures, I mean, it's kind of funny. My Chaos Army was the first army that I built.
And more money spent.
Yeah, don't even get me started on Baneblades. My Chaos Army that I built for Tabletop Tabletop Simulator was the first army that I built where I actually went and looked at the figures first and kind of strategized what I want. Like my wolves, I just went and bought a bunch of wolves. I'm like, and this, and then this. And now I have them because I want them all. And then I started arranging them.
Apparently he treats them like they're Pokemon. Gotta catch them all.
Okay, Overlord is completely built.
As separate attachments. Yeah, no, that's the idea. The tanks all go into the specialty the Emperor's Fist detachment. Yeah, and that's the thing. I read incredibly fast. So I'm going through, and the problem is I got my brain going in so many directions at once because I love this game so much and I love to strategize. And every army has its own benefits and minuses. People that we play with look at me and kind of go, really? Because I play Death Guard. And, you listen to anyone in the channels, you listen to anyone on the internet, you listen to people, Death Guard aren't very good. Death Guard aren't very good. Death Guard aren't very good. I was playing against Eldar, Drukhari, and Adeptus Mechanicus. in a league, and I came in second place. You guys saw my battle report. I played against Knights, and I pulled that out against a far superior Knights army. I have a mind for strategy, which is one of the reasons I love this game so much. I'm not unbeatable, obviously. I don't think of myself that way. I can get my ass beat easily.
And he does.
I do. But after I lose, like, she thinks it's funny. I will sit there, like, when we're driving home after I've been beaten, and I'm growling at myself for the mistakes I made and thinking about in my head, how could I have done this differently? How could I have done this differently? What could I have done differently? How could I? And I overanalyze and analyze and analyze and analyze and analyze my stuff.
And then he comes up with a new strategy and goes, all right, this week, I got it. And he gets his ass kicked again.
But it's always learning. And that's the thing I love about it. And so that's why I do every...
He's still pissed about the Drukhari.
You know, it's just the Drukhari are honestly, for the Death Guard, they are so hard to deal with.
Gotta catch us first, bitch.
They're so fast and so mobile.
It's like dealing with the Harlequins because they're faster.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. And that's the thing. And some people think when I get all emotional about it, it's like, we're getting angry and upset. No, I'm not angry. I don't mind losing a game at all. It's funny. I don't mind losing. Because if I lose, then I got beat. And I hope that I pick something out of that game that I can learn for the next time I play, which is why with her building her Ynnari army with all the Drukhari, I'm trying to make sure I communicate all the stuff I learned about them because they'll make her able to play them better. She's never played before.
I have still yet to actually play a game of 40K.
Well, she has yet to finish an army. I don't think she has 1,000 points built and painted yet.
I have a 500 point.
She has a 500 point. Yeah. How do you feel versus Death Watch, Death Guard? Okay, here's the thing.
Have you ever actually done that one?
I haven't actually played. No, I have played Death Watch. I did play Death Watch, except I played Death Watch with my wolves.
Yes.
And I crushed them.
There is that.
I did crush them. No, here's the thing, though. I got really lucky. I managed to get a Smash Captain into the middle of them without any Overwatch on him and just ripped apart the army. I mean, I couldn't miss an invul save, and I couldn't miss a hit, I couldn't miss a wound, and I couldn't miss an armor save. I was rolling 5s and 6s all day long with him. So he just absolutely wrecked. So a lot of that was luck. I'm not going to say otherwise. But that was Space Wolves. I don't know, because I mean, when I play my Death Guard, a lot of my Death Guard don't rely on invul saves. I really,
Except for Steve.
you mentioned Death Guard. I think I'll wait for him to finish that. Yeah, I see the thing. Death Guard was my first army in 8th edition, and I really love them. They have some really ineffective figures. Yes, they are overpriced, but I love them. And I'll tell you what, I make people crazy with them because I rely on them so heavily. They are overpriced for what they do. They really, for their price, they should all have a second wound. Honest and truly, I believe all Plague Marines should have 2 wounds. But that's the thing. They're gorgeous models, and that's really why I love them. Yeah, and you know what? That's exactly it. I do hate feeling helpless. I hate it when you just lose and there was nothing you can do about it. And that I can understand where that happens with Tau at times. The thing is that what I have found is that because like I've had to play my Death Guard against freaking Drukhari, and Drukhari are so fast, and Death Guard are so slow. You feel like you're helpless at times because you just can't do anything with them because it's like they run in, they shoot, and they run away. And you never get to return shots. And so you got to try and hunt them down, and you're so slow moving. So when you build your lists, and that's a big thing, it's all about list building at that point. You have to build a list that covers all the notes. I have a shockingly fast Nurgle army because of my main list, because of simply playing Drukhari so much early on and playing 8th edition. Yes, absolutely, Spectre. Absolutely. Yes, you do. And that's the thing. That's what I do with my main list. My main list for my Nurgle army is a Outrider detachment with 3 fart carts, 2 bloat drones, and a demon prince with wings leading it. And then I run a battalion detachment with 3 squads of Plague Marines, 3 squads of Plague Marines, a Blightcaster, and a Chaos Lord. And I use maximum number of Blight Launchers, and I run my Chaos Lord. Yeah, fart carts are amazing. You take them in groups of 3, they're great. A lot of people, well, they're kind of overpriced. They're not overpriced. They're deadly. I mean, they're running around with a missile launcher and a multi-melta, and they're -1 to be hit. And if they written the melee, you're at a -1 to hit them. They're great. Plus, they've got an invul range. Plus, they have a 12-inch movement. Plus, they can move and shoot at no minus. And if you run a flying demon prince up with them, they get to re-roll their 1s. They're awesome. But you got to rely on them and realize you're using your troops to grab objectives and hold objectives, and that's all you're using them for. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of people miss, is that, a lot of armies rely on their troops so much to do so much. And that's not what Death Guard do. A Death Guard use their troops to lay down some cover fire, but mainly just hold objectives. But you can get around that. Like I said, I run my Death Guard. I run my my Plague Marines with every unit of 5. Actually, I run them with 7s when I can. But if I run them, I put 2 Blight Launchers in there with every squad. I don't use plasmas. I use Blight Launchers. And Blight Launchers, bar none, are probably the best weapon that Death Guard have for their regular melee. I mean, their regular troops, because Blight Launchers are strong. Do I think I make T5 2 wounds make Plague Marines OP? No, I don't. And I tell you why. I would make them OP. They're still more expensive than Primaris Marines. They don't have an invul save. They have the same stats. The only thing they have is they have the resilient. But their guns are worse. No. There's in any other army. Yeah, they are. They're expensive. They are expensive figures. They're like 19 points base before their guns. And they've got crappy gun choices. Other than, you got the regular bolt guns. They're super expensive. They're super slow. That's the other thing. They're super slow. They're like 5s. Yes, they have a 5 toughness, but all their other stats are the same. And they're overpriced, and the guns are a little overpriced. But I love them. I love the scope so much. I have like 30 of them built, and I think I have another 20 in boxes ready to be built. What's up, baby?
I was going to see if anybody wants to see
Yes.
a sneak peek of a almost finished commission.
Yes. 2 things. Yes. The 5+ Feel No Pain does increase exponentially. And if you're willing to spend an extra points, like another 70, you can even make them better.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is total game mechanic stuff, which is kind of cool because we haven't really talked about that much in channel because we're always talking about the stuff. Hang on, we're going to take a quick break from talking about stats and stuff because I want to show off Lady Dragon's art here. She is so amazing and so talented, and I want to show this off because she is working so hard on this custom mold floor. Just beautiful, beautiful work. Just great stuff, sweetie. I mean, you are a talented artist.
And apparently hurting myself today.
Yeah, see? See, everybody loves your art. It's great stuff. There's a reason you're the artistic guy. You're the artistic guy in this channel.
Guy.
Yes. You're a dude.
I think I'm missing something.
You're a dude. You're a dude with tits. It's okay.
Actually, in California, dude is a gender neutral term. Inanimate objects are called dude. Yes.
Yes.
There will be color in it in the end. Actually, Hellworks by Hellchild commissioned this from me, and he does want it colored in. This is his custom group, sub-chapter of his Space Marines known as the Eclipse Stalkers. They're all wearing Horus Heresy armor, which has been, fun times.
Hello.
Hello, my dear brother. But
Hey.
it's fun and been kind of challenging, and Horus Heresy armor is ugly. Holy crap. I mean, the Mark III was dumb. It looks like somebody took a Dalek and gave it legs.
That is rude.
That's some heretical crap right there.
Yeah.
It does, though, especially when you see a picture of them in ultramarine colors. They look like Daleks.
You gonna be okay?
Rude.
Do you need to go lay down?
No,
You sure?
I don't want
So. Yes, but here's the thing. Again, here's the thing. As a troop choice, every other the thing is that every other Chaos army here's the thing. Every other Chaos army that can use Plague Marines, they're considered an elite choice. They're considered an elite. They are one of the only elites that only have one wound in the Marines. Skybar miniatures. All right.
Don't the Berserkers have one wound? So do the Noise Marines, I thought.
My shoulder pads for my Dark Angel's gonna give it a try. Shoulder pads.
Later, fam.
Take care. Okay.
You know, and that's where the debate comes about. You know, is 2 wounds too much? I don't think it is personally. I think it's reasonable. People may disagree, and that's okay. You're allowed to disagree. See, I think they should be. I think they should have a second wound, or they should, if they're gonna stay at 1 wound. I'm okay with that too, but then they got to come down a couple points. Because there's a lot of weapon options they don't have. There's a lot of options they don't have.
Yeah. So I can see that. I think the second wound would have balanced it a little bit. But just compared to the other, like, different of the elites of the cat. Like, we have rubrics, we have rubrics, berserkers, noise, and plague.
Now here's the thing. You can make the same argument though. Look at Grey Knights.
Yeah, no, you totally say right.
Because Grey Knights, guess what they have as troop choice? Troop choice.
Which one is it?
Terminators.
I'm not.
Terminators have 2 wounds.
That's fair.
And
I'm not used to Grey Knights.
But I'm just saying, Grey Knights have Terminators as a troop choice with 2 wounds and an invul save.
That's a fair point.
So, again, I'm like, I can go either way. Like I said, I'd be okay if they keep them at 1. I'm okay with them keeping them. I'm okay with whatever they are because I still play them. I don't care.
Yeah,
I love them.
I'm just doing.
I agree they should come down a few points. Do they have the same cost as Berserkers?
I don't know because I don't play Khorne.
I don't play Khorne in 40k.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm going to be bluntly honest. I'm not a 3 guy. I don't run the numbers. I'm not a math hammer guy. I don't run the numbers and that kind of thing. I just, I look at it from the standpoint of you look at the Primarises and you look at how all the Primaris Marines are running 2 wounds. I mean, and that's a standard troop choice. Now, admittedly, again, they have even less weapon choices. But I mean, you just look at intercessors. I mean, intercessor guns are really good. They're really good.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I'm not going to complain too much because I don't want to come off as like complaining too much about my Plague Marines suck. You hear the argument about Plague Marines sucking and the Death Guard suck because the Plague Marines don't have any options. And then what are you going to take? Cultists, or you can take Poxwalkers.
I hate that Chaos Marines aren't just viable. I really.
And that's the thing. I don't understand the numbers by why Chaos Marines aren't viable, but they aren't. And yet they seem perfectly fine to me. I like Chaos Marines.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, again, we're not a competitive channel. And I'm not talking competitive. Like, if I want to build a Chaos Marine army, I'm going to build the Chaos Army Marine I want to build.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the main point. Because you could say the same thing about boys. Boys don't hit for crap. Lady D, check your phone.
Oh no. Commodore has arrived.
Oh Lord. Phalanx in high orbit. Hey TMP, what's going on, Rob? What's going on? Building orcs and building the workshop that I was given by my buddy for my birthday. So thank you, Commodore. Man, I really, now this thing is built up, I really like this kit. This is a gorgeous little piece of terrain. This thing is cute as hell. I love it. Oh Lordy.
Oh no.
All right.
What does the Commodore have this time?
Apparently he's got something nasty to say.
Siege, fortify, siege, fortify, siege.
Every time I think of the Sons of Dorn, that's what I think of the Iron Hands and the Imperial Fist. I just think, siege, fortify, siege, fortify.
You have
a shovel. I hate you. You understand? You're the reason I fell. Yes.
Just let them do it.
Yes. And I don't care.
And thank you, Rob. I actually had to delete the video I had up and resubmit it because apparently I screwed up in the sound mixing and had my settings all screwy. So I had some bizarre music going on in the beginning of it, and
like a freaking nerd.
Yeah, and the sound was all cranked down on my vocals, and one of them was completely out of balance. So I had to pull it down and put a fresh one up.
Wheels on the truck
Um,
go round.
so the new one's up, but it's the same. It's the exact same one. And I appreciate the patronage. The thing is, the reason that music got chosen is at some point that weird. It's called the song is called "The Circus of Freaks," and at some point when I'm done painting all these freaking works, and I do the pre Armies on Parade video army overlay for them. When I do that, I'm going to use that as the music. I'm going to use that as the music for the overview because I love it. It's like clanking and drums, and it sounds very orc-like. And they're getting done. They're about halfway done. I'd be working on more right now, but I'm streaming right now because this is my son's last day in home. He is moving away tomorrow.
Yep.
And moving across the country from me. And he wanted to stream because we were talking about Tabletop Simulator because that's one of the main ways he and I are going to keep hanging out. We're going to play Tabletop Simulator maybe once a week or so. Just so we can have time hanging out together and keeping in the hobby.
Yeah.
Spect, be well, keep safe, my friend. It'll allow us to do dad and son stuff. So I'm excited for him. So he can get dunked on. Yeah, I'm excited for him moving. I'm excited for him going into this next phase of his life. I won't lie. I'm as a dad. I'm terrified, and I don't mind admitting it because I love my son, and I hate the idea of my son being far away from me. But at some point, you have to let the bird escape the nest. So get out.
I'll be out of like
7
Less than
a.m. tomorrow
12.
morning.
Yeah,
less than 24 hours.
yeah. In less than 24 hours, we'll be taking him.
Not a problem.
Whatever, dude.
Alright, take your time.
Whatever. Oh, just cutting off these last pieces.
Not college. Can't afford college right now. So just moving in with a friend of mine.
Trying his luck on his own.
Yeah, he's got a job waiting for him, and he's got a place waiting for him. So it's not like he's just going away and he doesn't have any plans. He's got a good situation set up and good things going for him. Because if he didn't, I wouldn't let him go. I'd be like, no, you're an idiot. No. And that's me being honest, because I love my kid, but but he has a good situation.
Maybe I'll do some streaming when I'm down there.
Well, what are you going to stream about?
Video games. Tabletop games. I am bringing the miniatures for, stuff. That could be something.
I hear of a lot of people that do streaming of games on Twitch,
Yeah.
like tabletop games on Twitch. So
That could be fun.
the Dragon family of games and channels.
How straight.
Yeah. Well, there is the House Drake motto. F it, I'll do it myself.
I thought that was control, diligence, passion.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's up there with a Lannister always pays us debts. There's the official and there's the unofficial. you know how it goes. Okay, hang on. Where does this drill go? I have this awesome drill piece. I think it just lays on the bench, which is hilarious.
Or it's on the ground.
Yeah, it's just scattered.
Okay. I love you all. I'm in pain. Lady D out. I gotta go lay down.
I'm going to steal your chair.
No, the hell you're not. You're gonna move your chair up. But,
But Dad gets to steal it.
not by my choice.
Oh no, he's literally just get hung. Do I have hooks? Oh, let me see this. Hang on.
Sorry, getting some painkillers.
Speaking of painkillers, hang on. I'm trying to figure out where these things hang. There's apparently some of these guys hang on the back end of it. Oh yeah, there's some pins here. So these hang on pins. Awesome. All right, look at that. So this thing is primed, and break out the airbrush and get this thing painted along with the rest of my my terrain. Alrighty, for my orc army.
Hey, everybody.
All right. All right. So I can just let this dry. That's all good.
So what up? What are we doing now?
Well, let's take a look at that chat, see what's going on. Let's see here. College. Let's pop here. Peach. That's you now. You're Peach. Peachy. Where's the garbage can? Just stick it in there. Yeah, it's over there. I don't know where one is right now. You'll have to wait till later. You'll have to wait till later. Check with the mom downstairs. Which one?
So I can keep watching.
There you go. Hey, Casey, what's going on? He doesn't have the corona. He has allergies. And your uncle says hi. Hey, how you doing? So yeah, another successful build. I gotta get this primed. I gotta get this built. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, Larry and Curly. Does that make you mow? Yeah.
Maybe we will talk about like doing like a Roll20 tabletop game, live streaming it.
That
could be cool.
That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
At the end of the week that I'm free, and like find some players for that.
Yep. All right. Well, there you go. So yeah. So as a part of what we're talking about, yeah. I do love the tactics of the different armies. Wipe your face.
I am.
No, I'm just saying, it's hilarious. You're all sneezy. You're more like Sneezy Dwarf there. Sneezy. Yeah, why don't you go get an allergy med for your mom? Spring in Wisconsin, where all the trees are like, die, all of you humans, die. Oh, I am so glad I don't have allergies. It's so funny. I just look at the entire family dying of misery, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get that. Sorry. So anyhow, yeah, with tactics, and that's one of the things, like I said, when I build an army, I don't really I buy what's cool and I build what's cool, and then I figure out how to make that work. And then after I've started playing them a bit, then I figure out what else I want. And there's still stuff I want, and then I'll build that and then go after that, like here and there. Like my orcs, I really want a Gorkanaut or a Morkanaut. I really want a Stampa. I mean, I really want to. I really, really want a Stampa.
Maybe I'll get you one for your birthday.
That'd be great. Yeah, it's next week. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, I want a Stampa really badly. I want either a Gorkanaut or a Morkanaut. I want to get each of the Speed Freaks vehicles, the Culto Speed vehicles. Like I want a Rucka Truck. I want a Squid Buggy. I love all the weird and neat things about the orcs. I need more boys. I mean, I've got 30 right now. And I mean, for a real orc army, you kind of need about twice that. So I probably need to get eventually a couple more boxes of boys. By getting that Apocalypse box, though, I don't really need any more. I would thought about getting another starter box, start collecting box. But now that I got the Apocalypse box, yeah, it's a huge expensive figure, dude. Don't worry about it. Don't be silly.
I was just looking at it.
Dude, it's a knight. It's a freaking knight.
Not a Squiggle.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the funny thing. It's like, you really want to have about 60 boys, honestly, for most builds. Just because that's what boys do. They mob up on things. I got a couple packs of Ludas. I have, because I was playing them for Kill Team, I have a pack of Burner Boys. And I'm building each one of them to have, you know, the leader type with the orc equivalent of a plasma gun, the big zapper gun, with them, because I just love the look of that figure, and because I want to have a lot of trucks, and I want to have a lot of the Speed Freaks vehicles. You know, there's going to be a lot of mechanical stuff because my guys are thieves, so they've stolen things from all over the place. So that's kind of a hope. Like my wolves, I need to get another pack of the Thunderwolf Cavalry. I want to get at least one more pack of Thunderwolf Cavalry. And then after that, I want to get some of the older figures. Like I need a Bjorn. I mean, I need a Bjorn. I feel that deep in my soul. I need to get a Bjorn the Fell-Handed. And I really want to get some Wolfen. I'd like to get one of their specialty craft. I want to get a couple rhinos just because I love the look of rhinos. But I really don't need anything else for the army. I mean, there's stuff I really, really want. But I have a 2,000 point all Primaris Wolf army. It's almost all Primaris. I think it's Primaris except for like 4 units.
Got it now.
Oh, you got your
boarding pass.
boarding pass. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's mainly Primaris, but I'd like some more cavalry. Eventually, the goal, the long-term goal for my wolves, I have right now a brigade of Primaris. I want a brigade of Primaris, and I want a brigade of non-Primaris. And when I have that, I think I'm set. I mean, anything after that is just gravy. I'm going to be able to field an all non-Primaris and an all Primaris brigade. Just because that was just a kind of a... I actually really like the Primaris look. I think with the right bits and the right paint job, Primaris wolves look really good. I know some people don't like them, and I know some people really kind of complain about them, but I don't know. I put enough bits in mine that I think they look good. I've got a lot of compliments on how wolfy they look, so I'm good with it. As far as my Death Guard go, there's like the only thing I have left that I really want for like my Death Guard is to start expanding it into non-Death Guard stuff, other than there's an elite character, the Foul Blightspawn, the guy that comes with the super hose of death sprayers. I'd really like to get a couple more of him. I'd like to get another set of the Terminators, and I'd like to get a set of the Bodyguard Terminators.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. I mean, I have everything else I want. So the only way to really expand the army, other than that few small choices, plus I've got a bunch of Plague Marines I still got to finish building because I've got extra Plague Marines. at that point, it's just getting more of the same. I've got 3 fart carts. I don't ever see me running more than 3 of them in a single squad of 3. But I've got 2 demon princes that are both Nurgle. I mean, that army, it's pretty much done. I can fill just about anything. At this point, it's like I want to get another Rhino just because I want to do the sculpting to do another Nurgle Rhino because I love the sculpting I did on my first Nurgle Rhino and it looks really gross. Maybe get a Chaos Predator so I can Nurgle that up.
That could be fun.
Yeah, but that's mainly those are wants. Those are far end because I've really got I love the Death Guard I've got right now. I've got a solid list that I play almost every time I play, and I love the way it works out.
I have found a new appreciation for Tzeentch.
Tzeentch.
Yeah. So in my group, we're all building chaos armies. Everyone got to pick one. I got to pick last. Yeah, I got Tzeentch.
Tzeentch is powerful as heck.
I know, but I didn't like Tzeentch. I've never really liked Tzeentch. It's just never been my thing. And now I have my Tzeentch army on Tabletop Simulator. And Magnus he's such a cool looking figure. He's just he's so cool. Genuinely, he was one of my favorite big figures that I've seen.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, I do eventually want a Logan Grimnar. I was mentioning it when I did the video for the terrain here. I realized that, and I've been kind of really backpedaling on this, and I admit it, I backpedal. And I realized why, and it's the same reason why some people didn't like the new Wolf Christmas box. The Saga of the Beast box is a really great box. It just literally doesn't have anybody I want in it. I mean, Logan's a great figure, and I want to get him because he's a Primaris leader, but he's not my guy. He's not my guy.
No,
as I've said from the beginning, my guy is Bjorn the Fell-Handed. He is I had the original medal, one of him in a box. I never got around to building him. And now I don't know where he went. I lost him after 25 years of moves and whatnot. And that kills me. And I really want him. Magnus is a gorgeous figure. And I will probably never paint him. And not because I don't want to. Interesting point. Shan, Lady Dragon, wants to do a 40k Chaos Army at some point. We have this weird thing in the house where we kind of build what we want to build, and we try not to build a faction other person's building.
Yeah.
At least between me and her and Will, Plague Child, we try not to build what the other one's playing, because if we want to play that other army, well, here, use my figures. There's no point in us buying 2 full sets of armies. She really loves the aesthetic of the Thousand Sons, and she loves the story of this Thousand Sons, and she loves Magnus. She thinks he's a great character. So she wants to build a Thousand Sons army, and she wants Magnus. And with her talent as a painter, I can't wait to see what she does with Magnus. So, and he's just such a gorgeous figure. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my sick boy, my big fat Mortarion. He's a beautiful figure. Magnus is stunning.
I want David Premerdate from.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Well, I mean,
I want the boy, the biggest, the meanest, not necessarily the greatest, but the angriest boy in the entire universe. Mm-hmm. I want him to have a figure. I want it so bad.
Rob, have you painted Mortarion? I'll watch for that answer. I want to know if you've actually painted, because I think I've shown off my Mortarion. I love my paint job on him. I did him before I was comfortable with a airbrush. So my Mortarion is completely painted by hand by brush. He's in the box right there.
Which box?
The depot box. The cardboard box. Second shelf. The cardboard box.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in there.
Oh, it's just white and black folder. Oh, it's a surprise.
Yes.
He has like little friends.
Yes. Yeah. I love the Mortarion. Considering what you did to your knight, I think your Mortarion is going to be absolutely epic. Make me throw mine in the ground. But I love some of the color choices I made with my Mortarion, and I love the fact that I got the skin to look the way I did on those wings, without using an airbrush. There are so many different layers of flesh tones, going back and forth with flesh tones and with purple wash, Druchii Violet, watered down Druchii Violet, and then I was alternating. I did some layers in Pallid Witch Flesh and Gene Stealer Purple. Thank you so much. You guys know how I kind of rush through figures, and I'm a really fast painter at times. I spent probably close to, I want to say, like 30 hours painting him. For me, is a tremendously long time. I probably spent like 30, maybe even 40 hours painting him. I kind of wish I had built him. If I ever had to do another one, there are some definite changes I would have done in how I built him, because there were areas that I couldn't get the effect I wanted completely, because I got so excited in building him that I didn't build him in enough. Pieces. I built too many parts of him completely contained. I also, now that I know what about the wings, I will tell anybody building him, just drill and pin the wings, because their points suck. Their attachment points absolutely suck. They snap off so freaking easily. I re-glued those wings on 4 separate times until I finally just said to heck with it and pinned them, as they were just such a pain. I worked really hard. I'm going to show this off in the camera. I got this blend on the cloak where I started with a German army green, and it starts off on him, and you can't really tell, but if you look right at the base of the wing, it's got 2 tiny attachment points. It's got 2 pinpoints that it attaches on, and these wings are huge and heavy and thick. I mean, they're freaking thick, and they've got 2 tiny attachment points for each one. Yeah, so he just snapped off like multiple times. So yeah, absolutely, those need to be pinned. They are terrible for that, but he is a gorgeous figure, and I really tried to get this sickly purple that gets darker around the edges. I want to do him different. Everybody else did him. I wanted to make him mine, so I very much did him in a different scheme, but I still try to keep with some very commonality themes. Like his armor, I did his armor in the Pallid Hand white rather than Death Guard green. I did it in his original army's colors, which is the white, and then I just gave it a wash. I washed it using Ogryn Camo, I think it was. I think it was Ogryn Camo I used, or the Camo shade. It was one of the green shades, but I watered it way down, so there was only a hint of the green on the white, because I didn't want to take away from the fact that he is supposed to be in this beautiful off-white, but I wanted to give that hint of rot and mildew and disease to him. So he is a gorgeous figure. He is the sculpt is beautiful. There are some pieces of him that are very, I mean, obviously they did this with all their big figures. It's got a lot of very finicky pieces. That
It's just like the Eldar Thema thing, the whatever the Visage.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, the Vizark, not the Vizark, the space demon of death.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very finicky. There are some things with that figure, because all the little chains with the sensors being hung onto by flying Nurglings, they are all separate pieces that attach to him, and once they're all in place, you realize he's not actually touching the base. It's those chains and the two pieces of his cloak that attach him to his base to give him the appearance of flying. So he doesn't have a flying base, thankfully, but he has these little tiny wispy chains and these little tiny wispy corners of his cloak, and they just fit into little slots. So he's touchy putting them together. So I had to fiddle with it a lot getting him put together. And like I said, I wish I'd actually put them together in more pieces. I wish I'd actually had. I only had one arm detached. If I had done it the way I wanted, I should have actually. I later realized I should have had neither arm or his backpack attached. I should have painted him basically a body, the backpack, the head, the arms, all separately, and then assembled it. But
yeah.
You learn as you go. I mean, I'd only been back into 40K for about 6 months. I got him last year for my wedding anniversary. So, it's, gosh, I love this hobby. I love we can just jump from topic to topic, and there's still such great stuff to talk about with this hobby.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm running a Dark Heresy game. Dark
you're-
Heresy is fun. All right, listen, I understand that it's not part of the war game itself, but
it's part of the lore.
yeah, I love the RPGs of the 40K universe. Death Watch is amazing because you get to run around with Space Marines.
I just recently saw that they had a humble bundle for like all of the Death Watch, all of the Dark Heresy books were on
Yeah.
a humble bundle.
I own all the books.
Oh, you own them already?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I love Death Watch because it's just you're running around as Space Marines kicking the hell out of everything. Their horde mechanics were there are like several hundred things, but you're like the best of the best kind of Space Marines. You just kill it to death.
You kill it to death. Remember that, folks. You don't just kill it; you kill it to death.
And then you have because you're all basically captain, like Space Marine captain level. It's ridiculous. Then you have Dark Heresy, which is even more lethal than the freaking Imperial Guard version. Because Only War, which is where you're playing as the Imperial Guard regiment, is less lethal than when you're playing as acolytes of the Inquisition.
Well, I mean, it is supposed to be role playing.
Like in Only War, the joke of Only War is like you have to have like backup character sheets, but comparatively, Dark Heresy has a much more angle on you need backup character sheets for backup character sheets.
Speaking of Inquisition,
Are they getting a book yet?
yeah,
You're getting a codex?
no, they're getting a Psychic Awakening book. Pariah. It's Inquisition versus Necrons.
Oh.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
yeah, it looks good.
It just sounds like pain.
And what it looks like is the character that's been narrating this entire set of videos so far is the new Inquisition Inquisitor that's in Pariah.
That's so cool.
She's got this suit of armor that's got a huge dragon-looking skull for a shoulder that's like gigantic, and she's got a dragon like on her wrist, like a falcon, but it's a little dragon.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that model. I don't play Inquisition. I am buying that figure. I am building and painting that figure. And the new Necron figure, I mean, Nick from IDICA Beer was like, oh my God, because he had to get a video right away. I mean, he is the Necron channel. And that Necron, dude, it's an existing character, but it's so cool looking.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Necron players finally getting something.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they actually get Pariahs back as a unit, because that's one of the things they had a unit called a pariah.
Yeah, the pariahs are like what are they? They're kind of like Tomb Guardians.
Well, they're immortals, but
Yeah.
with melee weapons that
Yeah.
can. They're like a cross between immortals and They have melee weapons that they can shoot with, like a freaking Custodes. Not, I mean, they're like a short range shooter, but they're a big melee weapon.
That's so cool.
They don't exist in 8th edition yet.
That's nice.
They haven't been around, I think, in like 2 editions.
I don't play Necrons, so I wouldn't know. But,
Yeah.
I know Casey. Casey enjoys her Necron army. Necron. Necrons are pain to fight against.
Yeah.
When I'm playing my Primaris, Necrons are hell.
Mhm. Well,
Especially their freaking rafts that are like, oh, you can't hurt me. I'm just gonna wipe out squads at a time of your Primaris Hellblasters. Ugh.
yeah,
Yeah, I bet you would join them.
yeah, they're great. I mean,
I barely came up.
yeah,
on top of that.
and the thing is, now they're saying that the releases they showed so far, well, we might do another one in 2 weeks. So they're doing more releases because they still haven't shown the freaking Primaris Bikers or Speeder that we saw the leak for
Wait, what?
months ago.
Wait, we're getting Primaris bikes?
Oh, yeah, you don't attention really.
No,
Months ago, there was a pixture leaked of the new Primaris bikes and
Are they
Speeders.
hover bikes?
No, they're big, fat Judge Dredd looking bikes. But the picture is little tiny and pixelated, so you can barely see it. It's just a little tiny, so you can barely see what it is. But it got leaked like January. And we've been waiting for it, and it still hasn't shown up.
Necrons are. I
have played against Necrons exactly once, and it was in a stupid fight because it wasn't a 1-on-1. It wasn't a 2-on-2. It was a 5-man free-for-all with 1,500 points each.
How long did that game take?
No, it was about 4.5, 5 hours. Yeah, I want new bikes. I want new bikes.
I really like Primaris. I've
I love Primaris.
like Primaris.
I love Primaris.
I love. You know what I like about Primaris? They feel like actual Space Marines.
You know what? Regular Space Marines feel like Space Marines.
No. I know that, but like, the difference makes them feel like what the lore describes Space Marines as.
True.
Like base Space Marines, they feel like
Guardsmen in armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I know in earlier editions they probably that's not what they felt like.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing to realize, and this is the biggest thing that you gotta realize, is that as the game has gone on, the lore has gotten bloated.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the game deals with a number, for the most part, 1 through 6. How much difference can you really have if the number generators you're fighting with are D6s?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, Space Marines are superhuman. They have a 4 strength. Humans have a 3 strength. Grots have a 2 strength. Okay, I mean, there's not a lot of difference there.
Yeah,
that's the thing. When you're dealing with a D6 system, and this is just talking about game theory. When you're dealing with a D6 system where everything is decided on a single D6, you only have, a 13% jump from one number to the other. So you don't have a lot of room for differences.
Yeah, that's why. I understand why people don't like. I understand the reason why people don't like Primaris. But like,
people don't like Primaris because they don't have to pay for new figures.
No, that's not true. But Primaris feel like statistically, they feel like what Space Marine should have been. But
that's the thing.
They feel in gameplay like watered down Space Marines with their options and how they.
Well, that's the whole thing. They're Space Marines with less options, same stats, 1 wound, 1 extra wound. That's it.
Yeah.
That's really the only difference. They have an extra wound and less weapon options. Instead of getting weapon options, you get a different squad.
Yeah.
So honestly, they're an excuse to make different kinds of Marines to make more specialized units.
I just wish all the Marines were the size of Primaris. You know, that's what it is. I think that's what it is for me. I like the size.
I love.
I love that it is. I love the size comparison between a Primaris and a Guardsman because it feels like what the size comparison should be on a tabletop.
Yeah. You have a hard time painting Space Marines. Oh my God, they're like the easiest thing ever to. The only thing easier to paint than a Space Marine is a freaking Necron. Mm-hmm.
What Tyranids?
Tyranids are difficult as hell to paint.
Maybe they're difficult.
Tyranids are difficult to paint if you want to paint them so they look good.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Orcs are hard. Orcs are 6 different colors that you got to get on a figure.
And they're like pastel colors too, because the orcs don't.
Just don't have to be as neat on an orc as you do on other figures. Although I'm being neat. I'm being stupidly neat to get everything. I don't know, man. My orcs are. I disagree.
I don't know. I'm not as advanced, and
I find orcs. The thing is, I don't find any figures difficult to paint. I just find some more fun to paint. I mean, orcs are fun to paint because they're so weird and different from each other. Marines. I mean, I was slapping out a unit of Marines in 4 hours.
Now,
I would do a 10-man squad of Marines in 4 hours.
I've heard that Chaos Marines are difficult to paint.
But they've got a lot of detail on them.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, the straight lines. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, I guess I can kind of see that. I see. I was doing wolves, and wolves are basically they're one color for the whole body. And then you wash it, and then you highlight it. And you're pretty much done with the body. And you make one shoulder color one. You make one shoulder pad one color, one shoulder pad the other color. Do a little bit of detail on the weapons, and like I said, I did a group of 10 intercessors in 4 hours, and they were done, and they looked good. When are you and Commodore getting together in person? Well, I saw him yesterday, Al.
Broke the coronavirus rules.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday. And I'm sure we can make arrangements to get together again now that we have crossed the coronavirus line. He and I mean, we're trying to keep away from each other, but I mean, everybody's trying to keep away from each other, but I broke the line. I got near him.
You hugged him.
I did.
Gave him corona.
I'm gonna die now. No, I've been stuck in my house. I don't have corona. I've been stuck in the house. Stuck in the house for weeks. I'm going nuts in here. Yeah. I'm gonna throw away that sprue.
No, you're gonna use it.
I'm not gonna use that sprue.
Yeah, you're gonna use it.
No, I'm not.
You're gonna use it. Like flooring.
No, it's 2.
Fine.
Okay, no biggie. No, we can arrange something else. If you got something you need to get from me to you, or from you to me, give it to him. Give it to Phoenix, and we'll make it happen. No worries. We'll make arrangements. All right. So yeah. I tell you, you know who's really easy to paint, honestly, unless you're going nuts, or Guard.
Really?
Guard are super easy because they're so small.
Man, that's what makes it feel difficult for me.
That's easy peasy.
Because when I did my one Primaris dude, it was like quick and I liked it. But then when I got to like trying to paint the Guardsman, I just felt so like I have to be so careful because otherwise I'm gonna get color on the wrong spot. It's just annoying.
Warp Strider entire table. Okay, I'll have to take a look at that. I will have to check that out. Yeah, that's the thing. Every army I think had. I'm trying to think if there's any army that doesn't appeal to me in some way, shape, or form, and I'm not crazy about Harlequins. I love it. I love what they do on the table. But I don't want to paint Harlequins. I just don't want to paint them.
I just don't particularly enjoy.
But go ahead and give it to him. We'll make arrangements to get with him, Al. Like I said, he was over here yesterday. Give it to him, and we'll get with him later in the week or something.
I don't really enjoy it. Like me personally playing them. I don't really like any of the Eldar factions. It's just not my thing. I don't know.
See, I want to play Eldar, but because your mom is playing Ynnari, basically Eldar, Drukhari, and I'm just giving her all three craft world factions. Eldar are a lot of fun to play. If you're, I mean, Banshees are crazy, dude. Banshees are crazy
You know
fun.
what I want to do? I want to do Tau. I like. You know what I've learned? I like gunlines.
I like Tau.
I like building an army that's gonna sit in a spot. We're gonna sit on the objective. You're never gonna take it from us because we have too many guns. There's too many guns. That's why I like Guard. That's why I like Tau. That's why I like Tau. That's why I like Guard.
See, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no such thing, no such animal. Every army has a weakness.
No, I know that.
I mean, you put a bunch of Tau in a single place. I like Tau. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I like me some Tau. Did you see the Tau I painted up?
I have no idea where it is.
There's a little green box over there. One of the green boxes. The green on this cabinet. I painted up some Tau.
Oh, it's these guys. These chuckle.
Yeah, I built up a group of Tau for Kill Team because I like Tau. And I came up with a really great color scheme using a pale lavender and a very, very almost white gray, but using Uthien gray. And I love me some Tau. I think they are a fun faction to paint. I was at first really not liking them.
It's hard to tell them apart.
Yeah, I really wasn't liking them at first when I first tried building them, and I realized it was just because I couldn't find a decent paint scheme for them I liked. I tried I literally had I painted this guy here. I painted him and stripped him 6 times before I found a paint scheme that I liked for them. He's actually changed bases 3 times because I just couldn't find a scheme for him that I liked.
I like the Farside Enclave.
And then, well, that's the thing. I did a custom scheme, and when I found Genestealer Purple and Uthien Gray as my main colors, and I love this color scheme. They make me want to do more Tau. They literally, I wanted them just for Kill Team, but I actually want to do. I get a group. I want to eventually get a pack of crisis suits and do them in those colors and see how they look.
Speaking of which,
because I mean, Tau they're a fun army. The more I read about them, because I got the I bought the Codex, and I bought the Psychic Awakening book for the Guard Tau, and the one faction that actually does not appeal to me at all.
What?
I just realized there is one faction that does not appeal to me at all.
What faction?
Genestealer cults.
That's fair.
I have no desire to play, and it's not that I don't like the look of the figures. They're basically a combination of, they're a cross between Guard and Tyranids. And I was like, if I'm going to play Tyranids, I want to play Tyranids. If I want to play Guard, I want to play Guard. I don't want to play the two together. So yeah. And I have no desire to play Genestealer cults.
Gene's cults are cool, but I don't know. I've never really liked their design. If I actually know a place where I can still get my hands on a Tooth and Claw box. I thought about getting that Tooth and Claw box just to use the Genestealers. Yeah, I mean, it's not untrue.
That's not untrue. They are the only guys that are really, you could say that's also true for
Salamanders.
Yeah, Salamanders.
Yeah, Salamanders are just the goodest boys.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Salamanders and Tau are as good as it gets.
I can't think of any event that the Salamanders have not been kind of like the good guys on that side of. Legitimately.
Yeah.
There's never been a situation where the Salamanders have been the bad guys. That's what it is.
At one point, I had a choice. Between buying the Tooth and Claw box or the Wake the Dead box. And because I wanted the Eldar more than the Gene Stealers, I bought the Wake the Dead box. I know where I can get a Tooth and Claw box. I think if I got a Tooth and Claw box, I would take the Gene Stealers and probably use them to build a kill team with, and that's about it. You know, because I don't have any desire to do anything else with them. There's something about them that just they don't appeal to me at all.
I think they appeal to me a little bit more than they appeal to you, but I think I know what faction is that really doesn't, like, over anything else, because I play almost any other faction. I don't like the Mechanicus. They're cool. They're cool, like,
I
like setting wise, but like
I love the Mechanicus.
I never liked the Mechanicus, like, aesthetically. They're just kind of,
oh my god, and that's the thing.
they're just ugly robots.
I love that. I love that they're just beep beep boop. Where's a toaster? I love the.
I mean, which is fair.
I love the mechanic. I love the Mechanicus so much. That's
the exception. Is their knights. I love the Mechanicus.
Well, knights are knights. I mean,
well, yeah, but the Mechanicum knights are just cool.
Yeah. See, I love the Mechanicum. I love the aesthetics of the Mechanicum. I love the way they look. I love the Mechanicum. I think they're awesome.
I like the Mechanicum.
I love the lore behind the Mechanicum. I think the lore behind the Mechanicum is so crazy cool. No, I love it.
Belisarius Cawl is like the only member of the Mechanicum I actually like. Because, like,
they're awesome, dude.
He's just a mad scientist.
He is.
Like, hi, I'm going to make everything. I'm going to break the Imperium.
Oh, man, I love the Mechanicum. They're so much fun. They're such a pain in the butt to paint. They're a real challenge to paint because of all their little greebly bits. But they look so good when they're done right. Gosh.
Maybe I could get into them if it wasn't that, because, like, they do feel like another Gunline faction.
Have you? They kind of are. Except, have you seen the new stuff coming out for them?
No.
Dude, they've got flyers coming out. They have a new.
I don't use flyers.
No. They have a flying unit coming out that looks like a cross between a mechanical cyberpunk or a steampunk bat and a World War II bomber.
That's cool.
It's the weirdest, coolest looking. See, it looks like. You know what it looks like? The wings. You ever seen that picture of the helicopter that Michelangelo? No.
Yeah.
That weird copter thing. Now picture that in 40K technology with a 1940s bomber copter.
See, if I use flyers more, I'd be more excited for that. But, like, I don't ever use flyers.
So there's that. And now they've got jump troops that they call vultures. Think of them dudes with those same wings on their arms. And their legs, instead of being replaced with the springy legs, are replaced with bird legs with talons on them.
You know what I have found I really like that I found because of Tabletop Simulator?
What?
Brass Scorpions are cool as hell.
Oh man,
they're so cool.
Oh yeah, and then the cavalry coming up. They have mechanical horses with flamethrower faces.
What the hell? No, like seriously?
No, they're mechanical horses. Oh no, they're horses that have been cybernized, so they got all mechanical legs, and they have flamethrowers attached to their faces. They're hilarious looking. Dude, no, the Mechanicum are awesome. They just had this bizarre, let's just throw parts together and make it work aesthetic going on. Mechanicum are so much fun.
Which is fair. Maybe I'd get more into them. I'll get more into them in the future. But right now, I just don't have any desire to try them out. Who knows? Maybe I will. Yeah, Tabletop Simulator fun. That's the other good thing. Tabletop Simulator.
Going back to our original topic, that is the joy of Tabletop Simulator,
because
you can play with people that you can't get around. Like, I could finally play Rob so that Rob could win a game, because I lose constantly. But we get a game together and we can play with neither one of us leaving our houses, and
you can try armies.
You can try armies you never got a chance to play or build. Like I said, I built this awesome chaos army I had an idea for. I had this idea come out of my head because I was just reading through my Shadow Spear chaos half of the box. And I'm like, these Greater Possessed would be really cool. All history is equal to a pop. There's the same significance as an atomic bomb. Yeah, and that's the thing. They're just weird. I love them. Toasters, give me toasters. But I mean, I was reading the Chaos. Man, I would adore it. I would love to play you, man. It'd be fun. And that's the thing. That's what I like about Tabletop Simulator, because you can play people across the country. My son is moving from Wisconsin to Georgia, and we are still going to be able to play Warhammer on a weekly basis. And you can play Kill Team, or you can play 40K. It doesn't matter.
And if your computer can handle it, you can play freaking
Apocalypse. You can play Apocalypse. You can build gigantic tables and play as many points as you want. So you want to try out a new army, it's the perfect way to try out a new army.
Zorn the Bear actually has a good tutorial on how to make Tabletop Simulator work. Zorn the Bear is he's part of the text-to-speech device crowd.
But is he Zorn the Bear from text-to-speech? Oh, okay. So
yeah, he plays Lehman Russ.
Right. Okay. So Zorn the Bear, the guy who plays Lehman Russ, is a YouTube.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel. He actually games with one of my favorite YouTubers, Remy, Down Under Gaming. He's also
Down Under Gaming. I know Down Under Gaming. So there you go. So yeah, definitely, you need to check out Tabletop Simulator. If it's not that expensive. How much was it to buy it?
I got it when I was like $5, maybe.
So Tabletop Simulator is $5-10.
Now, it's not always going to be on that level of sale, but like it's almost always going to be on sale.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen it for more than 20.
Yeah, that's about the most I've ever seen it for.
So,
it's $20 to play a game that you would generally spend several thousand.
And that's the thing. I would love it to be able to try out armies to see if I like how figures run. I was looking at the Chaos half of Shadow Spear. Oh. Yes, I love this shirt. I got this shirt at a store opening. We had a new Games Workshop store open in town. Well, not in town, outside of town. We have one here in town, and another one opened up north of town, but about a half-hour drive. And if you spent $100, you got a shirt. And I got this shirt, and it's got the Chaos star on the back, the 8-point star, so it's kind of off-centered Chaos star. I love this shirt, and Warhammer shirt.
Yeah,
because Papa Nurgle, he's the best. But yeah, I mean, so I was looking at like Possessed and 3 units of Possessed, because they all give each other a bonus when there's more Possessed, and they do it to all demons of the same mark. So that includes Chaos machines, demon engines. So I was looking at getting the Disco Lords, which are considered demon engines, and the Possessed, and the Spiders. That's what's in my Chaos army. So these guys all give each other bonuses. And they can all heal each other, and then it's a lot of look at that. Yeah. So
real quick, Casey, we need to talk to the group about like seeing if we can get people together to run one of our games for like a live stream, like the next like D&D game I run, to actually live stream that, because that'd be freaking cool.
Yeah.
And like I think that'd be a lot of fun, because we could both like play the game and have it live stream, but also like show people because there are tons of different like 5e D&D like channels for my campaign stuff. So it's another fun thing to do. That's something you might want to consider.
Yeah, I mean Twitch is big for that too. I mean, YouTube's getting there, but Twitch is like the gaming channel. So, I've actually thought about I got to get this stupid application working so that when I do my Tuesday streams, I can actually stream on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time.
Yeah.
I want to get that working out. Because like I said, I want to start doing more battle reports. I got to get through some of these figures, but I want to do some more battle reports. The plan is at this point, me and Lady Dragon are going to be trying to get a Space Wolves versus Drukhari Kill Team game done. We had one with the Custodes versus the Imperial Fists, but the footage like that came out like crap. I gotta figure. It came out bad. I gotta get better camera placement for that one because we got all our footage looks like crud. So we gotta get like a boom camera to look down over the table.
Yeah.
Either that or do it more like Winters SEO does his reports. So the camera's constantly moving. So it's a thought. I actually wouldn't mind getting my hands on a GoPro.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. But we want to do that. And when she gets a solid 500 points together, we're going to at least try and do kind of like Midwinter Minis did. They did an intro. They did an intro to Warhammer 40K. He played 500 points of Orcs versus 500 points of Tyranids.
Well, I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but he also did the freaking the quarantine video he did, which was
Who did?
Winter SEO.
Oh,
He did
yeah.
the Knight versus two Stompas.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah.
This is why you don't have any friends. I have a Titan.
But I do have a Warlord Titan. Yeah, I mean,
He is great.
Kill Team's a lot of fun.
Oh my god, I forgot about that game.
And we also want to kind of do some Warcry because we actually, Lady Dragon and I really, really, really love Warcry. It is such a good game.
That's one of the issues with Tabletop Simulator is it doesn't really have a lot of Age of Sigmar stuff yet. So it has it, but they're like 2D figures, and it doesn't feel as good as having the 3D figures
Yeah.
because they're like paper. Look at paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that just takes somebody going in there and making them.
Yeah.
So get to it.
I
Get to it.
what did I say like an hour and a half ago? 3D modeling.
Figure it out.
I know.
Go to school for it.
No.
That's what you should go to school for. You should
No.
go to 3D modeler.
I never know. No. We're not doing this. We're not having this.
I am so disappointed in you.
Oh my god.
I don't even know what to say about it. My son's a failure.
Oh, Zane, shut you got. She is in pain.
You're late. She was here an hour ago. You finished the things, D. Excellent. We gotta check that thing out. We'll send pics. Definitely put them in Discord in the Lady D's section. I want to see them there. That sounds cool.
Lady D.
Yeah, Lady D. I'm Big D. She's Lady D.
Uh-huh.
The mother unit.
Uh-huh.
The mother.
Just me catching all the bullshit.
It's your boy, Corona. It's me, your boy, Corona. Wait, D.
Listen here, you. Zane.
Well, oh, speaking of which, so yeah, I'm still painting it.
The wheels on the truck go round and round, round.
Well, the
and
wheels
round.
don't go round and round. The wheels are stuck. But
The wheels on the truck go round and round.
But-
all through.
the assault ramps do go up and down.
I crump gets.
So I still got a lot more painting to do, but I got the metallic undertones on here now.
The truck go round.
So, I mean, look at this thing. This thing is ridiculous. The instructions suck. Let me tell you, if you're playing Orcs, these instructions sucked. Oh my, I was cursing. I was cursing like a sailor trying to follow the directions. And I'm like, yes, there are people like my brother.
What'd you do?
Oh, this is just some piece that fell in
You
it.
broke it.
Yeah, it's a piece that
You
fell in
broke the
yeah,
truck.
whatever.
You failure.
Yeah, Orc trucks are fun, but man, the instructions sucked on this thing. And yes, there are people like my brother who do not require instructions to build a model. I am not that person. I need instructions.
Yeah.
I don't I can follow instructions. I can follow them quickly, but I need instructions most of the time. There are a few models that I've done enough.
Truck must be built differently.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. If I had messed it up, it would be. But that's the thing. I'd like to have at least one that's the way it's supposed to look, and then each one after it can be bad. But I wanted to have one at least built properly. I mean, I'm not going to make everyone look the same if I get more trucks. I'm actually probably not going to get any more trucks.
Why not? You need a war wagon. That's what you need.
No, you don't understand. I'm not going to get another truck. Every truck I build after this is going to be custom kit batch. Because where's my battle wagon?
I don't know.
See, I want one, but I'm turning this into a battle wagon. This is going to be turned into a battle wagon. And I got these.
You know what you...
With that gold. We were smart. We went and got some when it wasn't a problem.
I feel great.
Anyhow, I got some of these. Now they actually came with a top on them, but they were the wrong scale because they were supposed to be. They were made like 4x4s. But using this as a base, this is going to be an Orc truck. This here is going to be an Orc truck, just like it is. I'm just going to put some more stuff on it. Listen. Yeah, so it's one of those friction-driven ones. So this Orc truck will run over anything it comes across. Yeah, so I'm going to be building some custom Orc trucks out of this.
Battle wagon. That's what you talked about. Thinking of a Grot battle
Oh,
wagon.
yeah, well, not a Grot battle wagon, but the, what is that? The Grot, the Grot Speed Freaks build. The thing is, then I'd have to go get a bunch of Gretchen. And I might do that. I know where I can get these. These are just a couple bucks. So
Grots are great.
Yeah.
Entire army of Grots.
now they can be a faction of their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. So I
Grot
got
army.
6 killer cans and 40 grots.
You need several hundred Grots. You need billions of Grots.
Oh, I just need 40 grots and a couple of the wagons and some killer cans and a stompa. No, 2 stompas.
No. 3 Stompers.
I actually want to get some grot tanks. I want to get some grot tanks. Those are hilarious looking. But again, that's the great thing about orcs. It's like, what kind of crap is this? I don't know, but I had to get 3 of them because, no army's complete without 3 of them, whatever they are. Mechanized grot army. Yeah, I mean, it's many grot walkers. But then you have to get Makari.
You need Squigoths.
I don't like
Squigoths.
I don't like Squigoths.
Squigoths.
I don't like them.
Why not?
I don't like them. They're cool. But I might make a Mr. Potato Head. I might make a Mr. Potato Head Morkanaut.
That's fair. I still think one of your freaking Stompas needs to have like scaffolding. Like it needs to have an open back and just scaffolding out the back because they're building it at the same time it's being used. Just like having like grots hanging from it and like shoving parts in as it moves.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing about orcs. Orcs, you can do this kind of crap with. It's hilarious. You talk about Imperial Guard. I kind of want a Baneblade. I kind of don't want a Baneblade.
Baneblades are so cool.
But the thing is I had one on the table against me in a game, and they're not really that cool. I mean, they're cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, let's go put a grot head on him. A grot head with like
Kaiser, I don't disagree with you. I think if I did grot tanks, I don't even know if I go World War II tanks. I think I get some of them crazy looking World War I tanks. Those crazy looking, weird, really tall, square, boxy tanks.
I love World War I tanks.
World War I
They're
tanks,
so
and make them out of theirs.
Orcify Baneblade.
See, that's the thing. The more I look at the Baneblade, I mean, it's a cool looking model, but I don't know that
It's just a super tank, to be entirely fair.
Yeah, I don't know that I really want one.
But then again, like I like it because like just the aesthetic of a super tank is just cool.
See, if I want to get a super tank, you know what super tank I want to get?
What?
I want to get the Astartes, the Astartes Primaris hover tank. The one that's from Forge World.
I still want to shoot.
That's like the size of a shoebox. Have you seen
You
that?
showed me. Oh my god. Oh, it has too many guns. That's one of the few times I can honestly say that has too many guns.
Mhm.
Most things it's almost impossible.
You know what's actually really funny? Talking about orc conversions. Somebody on Instagram was doing it might have been on Reddit. They were doing an entire Snakebites army. So they're the old school. They're the savage orcs that do things the old ways. So yeah. But no, I saw somebody taking and it might have been on Reddit, but they were literally doing an all snakebite orc army, and they were doing it in old school, like old school for orcs. So their bikers were orcs on boars with the guns mounted on them, and the truck they were using, they had this giant beetle that they had put railings on, and a guy was steering it. It was like this giant bug that they were steering around. Their the DACA, the DACA jet was a pterodon, like a dinosaur pterodon,
Pterodactyl?
a pterodactyl that they had guns underslung on the belly, and he was riding it hanging on it using the guns on the belly.
That is the dumbest.
So the entire army was like giant bugs, old monsters, and dinosaurs. So they didn't actually have any vehicles. Everything was animals. And everything was animals. It was hilarious. It was absolutely. But they'd put all the guns on, so they're driving all these vehicles, but they're like dinosaurs and pterodactyls, and it was just the craziest looking army. I mean, that one you were showing me that looks like the giant mechanical rhino. It was actually a rhino. Or no, it was a I think he was using a triceratops for that.
See, that's just so like I do a lot of D&D stuff, as you know. But I want to mix orcs with dinosaurs now with like world settings.
Actually, I think one of the best armies I saw was somebody mixed Eldar with dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, you told me. Oh,
they were doing a custom world, and they were doing one of the Exite worlds. So they were using Eldar,
yeah,
but they were Eldar from a lost Exodite world. So all their technology was biotech. So everything they used was bioorganic. So they were all using dinosaurs. The flyers, the tanks, everything was dinosaurs. It was the coolest looking army. And yet they still completely kept the Eldar aesthetic to it. It was the coolest looking army. I think I saw that on Instagram. That was crazy cool. This entire Exodite army that was like Land of the Lost looking. It was just so cool. And like I said, I like the look of the Baneblade. I don't know. There's something about, there's a couple of vehicles that they offer that are these huge, massive point-heavy vehicles that, for the most part, it seems like GW had to create them and offer them so that they could give other armies something on a par with knights. I mean, that's the way I look at it. They had to create something to give the armies something to be on a par with knights. And yeah,
don't know. Beyblades have always been like kind of. It feels like a staple of the guard.
Except they haven't actually had a model for. Well, I guess they did have a model. They've had a model for a while. They had a Forge World model for a while.
Yeah, Beyblade's been around for forever.
Yeah, I guess.
As far as I remember, Beyblade's been around longer than Knights having figures have been.
Well, maybe in 40K. But the thing is that, remember, I started playing when Epic was still a thing, and you had Knights on the table for Epic.
Yeah, which is fair.
Shadow Sword and 6. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the thing. I remember because actually I recently saw somebody was showing off a box at one of the stores we go to where they had a box of the resin Baneblade, but not from Forge World, but from, what is it, Stormcast or something cast, the place that they did before they were Forge World.
Yeah.
I forget the name of that company, but they had a Baneblade, like the original, this massively heavy resin.
It's always been a thing that like walkers, like mechs are almost always mechs are cooler than super tanks.
Well, yeah, you're right. Not Titans. They had Titans, not Knights. You're right. You're absolutely right.
But there's something about super tanks that I really enjoy.
Like I said, it's not that I don't like the Baneblade, but again, after playing against one, it was so easy to make that thing ineffective on the table that it was just funny. And I don't know.
Well, what were you playing when you did that?
Death Guard. I played Death Guard against Imperial Guard.
What version of the Beyblade were they using?
They're using a standard Baneblade with all the guns and all the happiness and everything else.
I prefer the Shadow Sword. Well, and I think it's the Shadow Sword.
But what's the Shadow Sword going to do against Death Knights?
Eliminate a unit every round.
He tried to.
The Volcano Cannon will eliminate a unit every round.
No, it won't. I still get invul saves with the things that he can shoot at. The thing is, when you got a lot of terrain on the table, the Baneblade can only shoot at what you can see.
That's the other thing. It's like it depends on like the terrain as well, because like sometimes there's just too much terrain for most big vehicles to do anything.
And that's the thing, And if I'm playing an army, and here's the thing, I didn't set the table, so I can't even claim credit for that.
Yeah, I
had him set up the table, and he put a ton of terrain in there because he wanted to protect all of his little guardsmen. I flew around with my what do you call it? The fetid blow drones, and I just spittered all of his units to death.
Yeah. So the U.S. Death Guard could do that, but that's not always an option for a lot of armies. Like you have counters, every army has counters, but the Beyblade does a lot of good work in a lot of situations.
Yeah. I guess. Like I said, I'm not saying it's not a good unit. I'm not saying that. I found it so easy to counter all of its DACA because I made him commit to use it on one side of the board and then just ran away from it all game. And I didn't waste any shots on it. That was the other thing. I mean, how much firepower are you going to put in that thing? It takes so much firepower to take it down. If I turn all that firepower into everything else, the Baneblade's not going to win a game by itself. And Imperial Guard doesn't have a lot of beefiness other than that. I mean, I ripped up his tank commanders, and then just once his tank commanders were done, he had that Baneblade on the far side, and he had the flamethrower Chimera. I forget those are Hellhound. His Hellhound was actually far more dangerous than
because they're faster, and if you put your Baneblade too far on one side of the table, it is gonna but the moment it gets up, it can like start targeting. It's gonna do a hell of a lot of damage, and that's part of the thing with it. It's really tanky, and there will eventually be a point where you got to take it off the table in certain situations. I mean, if you don't, you're gonna get rammed for hell with shots and everything.
And again, like I said,
And like vehicles just disappear in front of it. I don't know. I think we've seen two entirely different situations with it because I've seen it just delete unit after unit.
on the other hand, I've seen where you can. I've seen where if you decide to focus fire. I mean, if I was playing Marines, if I was playing my Marines, I'd take that thing off the board in like first round.
But that's dedicating a lot of firepower to do that.
Not a lot of firepower, about half my firepower. Plasma, Hellblasters, which my army has a number of.
Its toughness is really high, even for like overcharged plasma. Like it's got a hell of a toughness to break through. Like that's the whole thing with the Baneblade. It is hell to remove from a table.
Yeah, it's funny because you look at it in competitive play, and it normally the reason they stopped playing Baneblades in competitive play is because Knights, Eldar, and Tau were deleting it in one round. Just that thing, get it off the table. So
I mean that's part of why like it's built to counter the other big vehicles, but it's that when it comes to big vehicles versus big vehicles, it's whatever goes first.
Yeah, and see that's why I guess I like one of the things I like in playing an 8th edition. I don't like playing big guys. I like playing lots of little guys
because like with the Shadow Sword specifically, I'm gonna put down fire with a knight and take a knight off the table in a single round.
But they
just with the Baneblade.
But they can do the same thing to you.
Exactly. And so,
they have an invuln save as well. So I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it is, that's the thing you could debate it all day long. That's one of the things I love about this game is that every army has something it does really well. I'm glad they fixed the problem with Iron Hands, so they're not just so absolutely stupid right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, Marines are in such a good place right now. Marines are still in a really good place.
Yeah, and to be honest, the one issue with the Baneblade, and it's the main issue, is that it's not built for what the Imperial Guard is built to do.
That is the big thing. And that is again one of the reasons I don't know if I want to. I don't know that I want a Baneblade.
Yeah,
is that my Imperial Guard to either want it to be fast and mobile, or I want it to be able to spread fire all over the place.
Yeah,
and the Baneblade's like, okay, I'm gonna delete something. That's great, but you're also a shot magnet.
And see, that's the issue when someone has a big vehicle on the table. If you don't have a big vehicle, there's you got to deal with a lot as the Imperial Guard to take it down.
Yeah, well, it's the thing. The Baneblade doesn't have an invul save.
I thought it
does it, because if it doesn't, it's dead. If it doesn't have an invul save, it's dead. Because that's the other thing. There's not a lot of big things that have invul saves really anymore.
Yeah,
there's a lot of mid units. But
I don't remember too many knights.
Yeah, all the knights have invul saves.
All the knights have knights, so I don't remember.
All the knights have invul saves. I'll be honest with you. If I'm playing my wolves against Imperial Guard, I'm going to put 2 smash captains on that tank and delete it in a round.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. God. And again, that's what I like. I kind of envy missing 7th edition. I kind of envy missing 7th edition because I know the game was so very different last edition. But I will tell you, I was gifted the 7th edition Dark Vengeance box set. And I tried reading the rule book, and holy crap, those rules were so complicated.
Yeah, got a point.
Use it as a magnet.
Or no talent. Yeah.
Or talent and outflank with it. Now, that's a thing. Again, you're talking again. Now, if I could take somebody did a diorama of a Challenger in a Challenger tank, which my non-British friends may not know is England's main battle tank, and it is a gorgeous tank. It looks like a Baneblade. I mean, it has the same kind of body profile as a Baneblade, different scale. But somebody,
Yeah, 'cause nothing's gonna
nothing's going to be that scale because you don't want to
Yeah.
have, you don't honestly want a piece of armor that big. But
Yeah.
somebody was building a Challenger tank that the physical model was the same size as a Baneblade, the normal Baneblade model, and they built a diorama with it. And they have this this Challenger leaping over a dune and firing its cannon, and they had it all lit up. And that is how I would love to do a Baneblade. Like, I'd love to have a Baneblade. If I did that, I would go nuts with that thing. I'd want to sit down with my brother Al and break out some LED works and really light that thing up. So, like, the guns light up and there's running lights on it and there's internal lights on this thing. And I'd want to make sure all the hatches open and everything lit up. Because if I'm going to spend that kind of money on a figure that's got a large interior portion, I want to spend the time to make that thing a freaking showpiece.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I saw in the RPG community for 40K, someone was doing a game where it was all based around the party being the crew of a Night Titan. And it was, you know what it was? It felt like one of the old Mech Warrior anime, feeling things.
Yeah,
It was so cool, like seeing what they were doing with it.
Is the front door open? Probably. I'm feeling a breeze. The back of my head's cold. Back of my head is cold. Yeah, and you know, that's the thing. The thing I hear about 7th edition, and I tried reading the rules, and I just found it so freaking confusing. I mean, I mean, I was a player during 2nd edition, and I played for part of 3rd edition, and then I got out of the game. And I know, I mean, when I would try to get back into 7th, the rules seem so complicated.
I don't know. I've seen 7th edition battle reports. I'm kind of glad I got in at 8th edition.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought. Although the idea of playing 30K is appealing, but 30K is 7th edition rules, basically.
Yeah.
See, I'd rather play.
That's the whole reason. Almost the entire reason. Listen here, you. Listen here.
Doomsday Arcs are pretty cool. I'll be honest with you. My favorite Necron vehicle is a Super Heavy, and it's not a Doomsday Arc. I love the Monolith. I love the Monolith. I want a Monolith. I don't care. I just want one so I can paint that thing again with LEDs. That is another one that I want to paint it so it's partially open, so you can see the Catan in the middle of it, but it's not fully open. It's only partially open, so you can see the Catan, but there's LEDs in there. So
Yeah,
the whole thing's lit up, so you can see it's opening up to let that Catan out. That would be a great diorama to do.
that's super cool.
But yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's the problem. Like, I really want a Stampa, but at the same time, if I did a Stampa, I'd want to go crazy on that thing, and I kind of regret. My Knights look cool.
Hey, look, it's Kiwi, the Commissar Chipmunk.
Hey, Kiwi. Yeah. It's the thing. I kind of regret. My 3 Knights came out really, really great, but I kind of regret that they don't have LEDs and stuff in them because I really would like to light them up. And if I get another, I want to get a Paladin. I want to get a Paladin, and if I get a Paladin, I'm gonna put some LEDs in that thing. I want to light. I mean, I have one vehicle with an LED in it. It's a freaking Rhino, but I lit it up so it has a party inside that thing because it's hilarious looking. But yeah, I mean, I really, again, you get back to the whole thing. I love the game. I love the modeling though. I really want to do more vehicle. One of the reasons I want to do more vehicles is because I want to do, like, I love the painting and I'm loving the techniques that I'm learning. I mean, I've been watching Plasmo. If you guys ever want to really get some really cool detail and some really cool, like, character to some of the vehicles you do, go out to Plasmo. He runs a channel where he talks about, and he's doing it to models. He's doing it to, to like World War II tanks and modern day tanks. But you can use a lot of those techniques on your Warhammer models. And he just gives he does like a half hour yeah, maybe more about knows what I'm talking about. He does like a half hour video that is just gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it's just gorgeous. Another guy that does really good stuff on weathering and teaching how to do weathering in simple ways is Herbert Erpedert. Herbert Erpedert. I swear I thought it was your channel at first.
Oh my. You
with that name.
jackwagon.
Yeah, I mean Herbert Erpedert is another one. He does some really great weather. He did a VW Bug and he turned it into a Mad Max death machine, and it is awesome. What are you doing there, Palork?
That Dread at the moment's been super fun so far.
Yeah.
Listen, if I get back into 40K like for reals, I'm gonna go back to Guard because Guard are. There will never be another faction. I can honestly say that I will enjoy as much as I love the Guard.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean that legitimately.
Okay, that's fair.
Like they beat out like Bretonians for me. That's how much I love the Imperial Guard because they are.
Where's your book?
My book.
Where's your book? Where's your handbook?
Oh right, but it's in my freaking.
Where's your handbook?
Oh no, it's in my carry-on. I have.
Go get it.
Sure, I'll go grab.
Go get it.
Oh, give me 1 moment.
He feels the same way about Guard that I do about the Space Wolves. And I know that I'm giving him crap about it, but I get that. I get it. When a faction, I know Orc players that it just resounds with you. It's like these guys, they get me right here. I'm like that with my Space Wolves. My Space Wolves get me right here. The Orcs do too, but the Space Wolves. I was a Warhammer fantasy player. Solid. Loved my Wood Elves, playing my Wood Elves, into my Wood Elves. They were awesome. And the day I say that, I talk about this all the time, but it was that important. That was that seminal day. I walked into the store. The owner of the shop, we were good friends. We knew each other. He showed me, hey, look, this new manual came out for Warhammer. Now you play the fantasy one. This is for the sci-fi version, but check this out. Space Vikings. I picked up that book that day. I picked up that book. I picked up a starter box, and I picked up an extra box of Beakies, and I never looked back. I ended up selling off my Wood Elves and all my Warhammer Fantasy stuff because I love the Space Wolves that much. So I get it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This thing got reprinted. The Imperial Infantryman's Handbook, which is the Imperial Minotaur Manual, the Imperial Infantryman's Uplifting Primer, the Benedictions of the Emperor, Inspiration Source, and Uplifting Creeds for all infantrymen. This is literally something that, in lore, every infantryman is issued and is supposed to carry on them at all times. They're supposed to have this book on them at all times, and not having it can get you shot.
Yes. As it says, warning, this document must not fall into enemy hands. Failure to ensure this document safekeeping carries the penalty of death. Failure to produce this document at a superior officer's request at any time carries the penalty of death by order of the Departamento Minotaur.
This is literally the book of what it means to be an Imperial Guard.
And it has...
For Russ the Allfather, my brother.
It has...
Venrika forever.
It has quotes, it has litanies, it has things to read as your guardsmen are being killed in droves in the middle of a game. As guardsmen are holding that position, all lift their voices. The time.
It's a great book. It was a limited edition print. The store that we go to got one copy. when they put it out for pre-order, it was sold out in 20 minutes. I literally went into the store they opened at 11:30. I went in to order it at 12:30. Orders started at 12. At 12:20, the guy ahead of me was trying to order it, and they were already sold out. So they had one copy at the store, and me and another guy that are really in the guard were there, and he didn't have the cash on hand to buy it. He's like, "Oh, I don't have my wallet. I don't have the money." And he turned around and handed me a book, and he said, "Go ahead and get it." So I bought this for Ray. And I mean, I know his love of the handbook. I mean, the Imperial Guard. It is a great, great book. It is awesome. And that's the thing. It's the funny thing about this stupid plastic miniatures game is that some of the lore and some of the silliness and some of the stuff behind it really resounds in certain ways to certain people. The whole idea behind the Space Wolves and the fact that they're all about freedom and protecting humanity and still being as alive as they can. They live for every moment to tell their story, to strive for honor, to strive for glory, so that people will remember their name forever. And their loneliest blood claws are the greatest of their champions. Their goal is to be glorious so that people will remember their name forever. That is the definition of awesome.
The Imperial Guard are the weakest, easiest to kill, worst equipped army in the 41st millennium. Yet, they are the most inspiring faction to me. Because the idea that every single one of the members of the Imperial Guard is a human with human desires, human emotions, but as a whole creates the greatest protection for humanity, and that each one of them was born, raised, and dies for the Imperium. And they do that, and that's their entire life. And they hold the line. The story of Cadia, where the planet broke before the Guard did, is just one of thousands, millions of stories of the Imperial Guard being so dedicated to the Imperium and dedicated to the innocent lives that they're protecting. Is so inspiring as a faction. It's why I love the Imperial Guard, because you have the Space Marines, their power armor and their superhuman abilities. You have the Tau with the high levels of technology and amazing equipment. You have the Necrons with their immortality and all that. And there's a dude with
A knife.
paper-thin army armor, a flashlight,
Mhm.
and a knife. And yet they have still held the line for years.
Mhm.
And Elanius Pius, the greatest of them all, I don't care what Games Workshop says, I don't care what retcons there are, Elanius Pius stood in front of Horus, spat at his feet, and told him he would hold the line, put down the law, and kill that which had destroyed the Imperium from the inside out.
It's cool. He is. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's a guy. I mean, the passion there it's awesome. And if I go get him to focus that passion in the painting. Oh my God. Yeah, it's all good. All right, folks, let's see here. We have been here for 2:45. So, we're almost 3 hours into the stream. So we're going to give a quick shout out. First off, I want to give a shout out to IDIC Beer, Nick at IDIC Beer and the entire alliance, who brought me into this wonderful community and it gave me a chance to interact with others. I want to thank them for me being a member. I want to give a shout out to Chilling Wargamers. It's a great bunch of guys that have also introduced me to a bunch more people and are really awesome for gaming. I'm going to give a shout out to my patrons. I got Inquisitor Zane, Heinrich Botha, and Joe Bookish, as well as the Commodore. That couple of bucks a month from you guys lets me buy some extra supplies and lets me buy upgrades for the channel and inspires me and lets me chat with people all day long and give me things to talk about. Zane, let me look. Zane is another perfect example of somebody that is full of passion, and when things get him going,
Get into a game with you anymore. I don't have my computer at the moment. I'll have it when I get out to Georgia. Well, actually, a few days after I get out to Georgia. Where did?
Let me look. Yeah, here it is.
Super cool. That's really nice, Zane. Holy shit.
You see what that is?
I can't tell what it is. It just looks done. I'm just trying
It's a paint cup. That's the logo of your monitor.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, Zane. So, yeah, once I got done finished building, stuff's all dry now, so I can probably prime this stuff.
I'm going to hold down the fort while you prime?
We'll worry about it later. We got stuff more to talk about, stuff to do. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Things that are that's this thing. This game is passion evoking, and I mean, it's so many different layers. I mean, you got guys like him. Oh, I love my brother. I love my brother. I love you, man. And I have to get that box out. He's out of the way up there. I've got a box that when they come over, I got a box I'm going to send back over to you. I got some stuff that, hey, man, it's pieces, parts for the most part, but it's stuff that you could restore and do something cool with. I want you to do something with it. I want to see that close, Zane. We'll have to look at it when we're off channel so I can actually talk to you about it. Thank you, Al. Thank you so much. But this is the reason I love 40K. I mean, I like Age of Sigmar. I like it a lot. I love fantasy end of it. But let me tell you, 40K, there's something about it. And you can get into it for so many levels. You've got lore. You got the lore behind the game and the invoking of the lore and the stuff that's in it you get passionate about. To the point where you got guys like him that like the war game but love the heck out of the role-playing games and really get into that characterization. And then you got the guys that really get into tactical, and that game is a very tactical game. It's a good war game. It's a great war game. If it wasn't, it wouldn't have been around for as long as it is. It's a great system. And then you get around to the other part of it, and you got guys like Rob at TMP, and you got guys like Weather Pig, and you got guys out there that have this incredible artistic talent, and people like Lady D who have this incredible artistic talent. Hey, speaking of which, I don't think she showed it off enough, and since I got Rob here in the channel, hang on a second, go over there and get the king.
Oh,
on
can I get both of them?
Well, everybody's seen the other one, but they haven't seen the king. Because I want to show this off, because I don't think she's shown it off enough. Okay, so Rob was very kind. I won a base from him. It didn't work for my army, so we gave it to Lady D. She used it on her She used it on her Lady Oleander, and when he sent me a replacement base, that this one here, that is going on my it's going on my Wa banner. He sent a second base. It was just unpainted. And so Lady D took this base, and when she did her king, her Silent King, she also painted up this base. Now, she doesn't use an airbrush, so this is all painted by hand. And I don't know if you guys can see that beautiful, beautiful silver glazing on there. This thing is such a pretty model.
So pretty.
And this is the thing. She digs the lore and she loves the painting. And it's just beautiful. So I want to thank Rob from TMP for sending this base. And it's inspired us to actually get some of these rollers so we can make some more bases like this, because they are just gorgeous. And she is such a talented painter, and to be able to do stuff like this for somebody that's been painting miniatures for less than a year, and to do this kind of quality work, this is just something amazing. So thank you, Rob. But it's stuff like that. This is really part of this game. It's so awesome. And like this base here, I love this base. I love this base with all its little, it's got my name on it a couple places, and it's got little details. It's just really cool. And I love this base. And I'm gonna love putting my Wa banner up. And I'm building a custom figure that I've actually started painting. He's about half done at this point. I wanted to get him done last week, and I just haven't had time because we were trying to get ready to get this guy off and on his way to Georgia.
Yep.
And that's the thing. That's the other reason why we want to do this today, because this is my guy. And I wanted to spend his last day home. I wanted to spend it with him doing whatever he wanted to do. Oh yeah, no. Warcry, any progress? I don't have any bat reps. I don't have any bat reps done, but I can show you. I can show these off. I haven't done them yet. Over there's a box with the, you'll see a bunch of gold-topped buildings in it. One of the green trays.
Yes, Zane. I got on specifically so I could say hi to you. It's all you, baby.
So I am in the midst of painting I've got the base done, and I've now got the copper tin roofing done. And the next step is to do the cast iron. The wrought iron fencing and the wrought iron pieces on there. And then the skulls. And then we're going to be weathering the crap out of it all.
Hi, Zane.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to do it. I'm going to be weathering the crap out of it with nilic oxide. But yeah, I wanted to do it with. I don't like Screaming Bell. I think it's just too bright and shiny. But I really love Balthazar Gold instead, for if I want to do like a bronzy coppery stuff. So I just blew that through an airbrush, put a couple layers on, and then, like I said, I'm going to go through with a brush and touch up, and then touch it up. I did an unboxing of these. What I'm gonna do is, because I'm gonna do the statue entirely in the thing and then do the weathering on it. I actually, since I haven't gotten that yet, I might do a video on how I do that weathering with the nitrile oxide, because I've actually done a lot of work with it. I have an entire mephitic blight hauler that I did in metal and then covered it in nitrile oxide, so it looks like it's made of metal and just rusty. And I really, really like it. That graveyard set's actually a really good deal. I mean, it's got a lot of terrain in that box. And then I think I've shown off. Hang on. Hang on a sec, guys. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to get to it with that alone. I did a couple boards. I did this Savannah jungle board that I've got them up there, but it's got a couple things on it because I'm up there too. We want to do another Warcry board, Warcry and/or Kill Team. We want to do an ice themed one. So we're going to be doing an ice themed board and a bunch of ice scatter terrain for on there. And I'm working on a Mechanicus thing. That's the beauty of this house. We have a bunch of things going on at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want us to start ordering pizza? He's getting around that time.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I mean, that's the thing. I want to do an ice theme board for a Kill Team, and then do like a bunch of ice scatter terrain on it, and do a bunch of like glazing effects and crackle effects and a bunch of resin effects. I really want to get some stuff done. I also am working on I'm also working on a city board. And I've already got some hab block buildings done and ready to go. Now, here's the thing. If you're a contractor or know anything about rebuilding, you know what this is. And it's hilarious. Rob, I honestly, I'm going to say this, and I mean this 100%. I am not ashamed. I'm not that guy. I'm not ashamed to say this in front of a bunch of other people, in front of the community. I am honestly consider myself blessed to have met you. You are an inspiration. You are a great guy to talk to, and you are a great person to interact with about the game, about the hobby, and just in general about just how to be with other people. You are, I honestly, I consider myself blessed to have met you, man. You are a really great guy, and yeah, it'd be great. So yeah, I mean, I just mean it. I mean, anybody that's not already on your channel needs to be on your channel, because your channel is so great. I have been looking at how you doing your vampire courts and how you're painting your zombie dragon. I have not been interested at all in the vampire courts. You're amazing, Al. You're amazing. Again, I mean, you honestly, I mean, the fact that I can trace some of the popularity of my channel to the fact, not right now, I won't a bit. The fact that I can trace part of my popularity of my channel to the fact that I got in on the pay it forward box that you started. And that's the community needs to understand. There's a pay it forward box out there that it's about to go out. I'm 4 subs away from 500. And that 500, that box is going out. And that box started because Rob had an idea. So, and the idea was to make the community better. So, if you're not a subscriber to Miniatures Paintbrush, go subscribe now. Whether it's because he's a good person whether it's because he's a great painter, whether it's because he's a great teacher, whether it's because he is a good person, that joy and that goodness comes through on his channel. All those reasons. And you, TMP, shut the hell up, man. Oh my God, shut up. I'm not that good. Your freaking night just makes me want to just snap my brushes and throw them away. My God, man, you are so good. And your zombie dragon, that thing is amazing. So yeah, I mean, it's an awesome thing. So anyhow, like I was saying, I'm gonna go back to a little bit more on topic though, but if anybody here ever does electrical work, you know what a gang up box is. These are PVC gang up boxes that I've just cut the mounts off of, and I'm gonna put some greebles on. And if you look, they make pretty good blocking terrain. So I want to build a city block and have a bunch of these hab blocks, or be able to use them out in like a frontiers as a an outpost. So and at $2 for one of these things, it's the cheapest terrain building you're ever gonna do. So, and they come in lots of greebly sizes. So you can build like a power plant out of these. And good stuff. And again, that's the thing to really talk about. I mean, that's the one thing I like pointing out, is that my channel, I love model building. I love model painting. I love 40K. My channel is a terrain channel. I started off teaching people, and I still, my big focus is teaching people. Yeah, I kind of figured you and I are. Let me get to that in a second. Hang on, because I actually have a comment on this. It's kind of funny. I started off building terrain and teaching people how to build terrain in Epic Your Board. And it was the terrain that led to people going, well, I can build that for 40K. I'm like, well, yeah, but that wouldn't be good. You need to build bigger. And showing people how to do 40K was something else. All right, and the hair thing. Okay, so here's the thing. I've been wanting to cut I had my hair a lot longer. People may have remembered I had my hair pretty long for a bit. It started thinning back here. And it's just something that happens with age. And I vowed to myself, I vowed as a younger man, that if I ever got to the point where I started balding, I wasn't going to be one of those guys that hung on and tried to get the comb over, or tried to keep the hair long to hide that balding spot. I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm just going to embrace it and be it. So I cut my hair pretty short. It was pretty short. It was, it was about this kind of length. It was, and I'm like, whatever. It's not a big deal. I am, but I'm not kind of vain about my hair. It just because I knew when I let my hair really grow out, I've got hair like this, except it was a chocolate brown, but it was curls and, yeah, whatever. Anyhow, I got word on Friday because I'm working remotely. I work remotely, so I'm not going in the office. I wasn't going to the office for at least another 2 weeks. And then we got word on Friday that we are not going back into the office until the end of May at the earliest. So I'm going to be at home for the next month and a half.
You can get a lot of miniature stuff done.
I got a lot of miniature stuff done. But I'm going to be at home. I'm working, so I'm working from home. But I'm not interacting with people physically. They don't see me. And what a lot of people don't know about me, although people that know me, I'm big into punk. I've been a big part of the punk scene and the alternative music scene since I lived in Seattle in the late 80s and early 90s. Alt music, alternative music, the college rock, whatever you call it back then, punk, alt punk, all that. That was me. That was me back in the day. So because my hair was about an inch long last night, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be in the office for a month and a half. What the heck? And I went and busted out my clippers and I gave myself a mohawk. I'm like, I haven't done this in forever. I don't care. I gave myself a mohawk. I had a 2-inch wide mohawk that went the whole length of my head. And it looked pretty cool up front here. The problem is, as soon as I got to the balding spot, it just looked like that. So it's like, oh my God, I can't even pull that off. Oh yeah, STP, Alice in Chains, dude. You're not even Alice in Chains. I mean, I love the two of them, but I mean, we're talking Sonic Youth. We're talking Dead Kennedys, Dirty Rotten Imbeciles, Black Flag, Henry Rollins, Sex Pistols. Yeah, no, dude, I'm Social Distortion. Oh man, I've seen Social Distortion so many times in concert, dude. I love Social Distortion. Yeah, I mean, that's my thing. That's my jam. So I gave myself this wonderful mohawk. I had this. It was literally like this wide. It looked really sharp. It was awesome. But the problem was right here in the middle of my head, it got all bald and crappy looking, and I'm like, that looks like ass. So I just took the clippers and just freaking took the rest of it off. And I haven't had this look since basic training. And to be honest, I got a good head. Some people, they got a big old mushroom head or they got like a lumpy head. I got a nice head. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is my look. I got a beard. Warmutt, leave me alone. I kept my beard. I do not look like John Candy. But no, Rob, anything I say about you it was with the utmost of truth and love, because you are an amazing human being. You are inspiring. And yeah, that's my vehicle. That's what I drove. Yeah. So it's been a good day. Dinner's on its way.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna keep live on the stream until dinner comes, and then when dinner comes, we're gonna go.
Oh really?
Yeah, we're gonna go because we're gonna watch a movie.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna go watch a movie. Yeah, I have yes, my special snowflake.
Let's turn into a bullet.
Yeah, you're gonna turn into a redneck. You're gonna go down there and start wearing trucker caps and grow a mullet and a long stash. And I will murder you. No, we're all good, man. I mean, that's the whole thing. That's why I tease him as much as I do. I tease my son because I love him to death. He's a good boy. He's a good guy. He just needs to keep being a good guy. You know?
Oh, no. I don't know if I can pull it off, man. I don't know. Oh no.
Actually, you know what he needs to do? Because he can almost pull it off. He needs to grow this stuff out again, but he needs to keep it nice and trim and get a pair of these big old big old mutton chops.
You just yeed your last fucking haul partner.
Yeah. What time is it? It's high noon. It is high noon. All right, Warmutt. You be good, man. You take care of yourselves. Yeah. No, it's high noon.
Hey, child.
It's high noon.
This is
It's high noon.
Child has no sense of humor.
So yeah, this is a channel that has grown up from me making D&D crap to me playing 40K and loving the crap out of it. I mean, be honest and truthful. That's what it's all about, is, enjoying what you do. And I enjoy this. Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing, man. It's like I was started thinning, and I realized I was thinning. And at first, I was trying to like, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. And then I got a real good look at it, and I'm like, yeah, it's time. The time has come. I'm done. So now it's a matter of keeping. It's now my Obadiah Stane look. That's it. I'm like my Obadiah Stane. Which means I need to get a device that makes a weird sound that makes you just paralyzed, so I can take out your heart.
That no, Kali Ma.
Shannon has a message for me too.
What?
Mom's sleeping.
Yeah, okay. You had more hair than me for a while there. Yeah, that's the thing. I have very thick hair. I have very thick, very curly, very full head of hair. And it's just starting to thin in the back, and I'm just like, I'm very proud of my hair. Yeah, I was very vain about my hair. For me, it was a big thing for a very long time. Yeah. If I have any vanity, it's about my hair. So I no longer have it. I had to be done. I had to be done. This is now going to be my everyday thing. Just to think, and if it gets too thin in the back and gets to spread too much, we're gonna go get the poodle clippers and go skin and go completely. Yeah. Yeah.
My eye.
Yeah, we'll go full. Break out the wax. We're gonna shine this dome. The stubble's okay, but we're gonna shine it out real nice.
You're gonna be able to like magnify it, like light off of it.
So
Start fires.
oh.
You get tattoos there, have like word bearers tattoos. So
I like it. Word bearers are the best faction.
Just have like word fucking letter all the way back.
Does Erebus have a figure?
I don't fucking know. Who cares?
I need to get an Erebus figure.
Fuck him.
Hey, watch the language.
No,
Dude.
I am live on the air.
I understand.
You
You have to make sure to keep it appropriate so that they don't think that we're child friendly.
Erebus did nothing wrong.
Because if we don't, we get in trouble.
No, dude.
Cop will come for us.
Dude, I really want a DI mark of Lorgar.
Yeah.
I really want that.
I want my children.
Yeah, well, you're Slaaneshi, you don't count. You're not actual people.
Dude, I want a Slaaneshi army.
Yeah, again, you're Slaaneshi.
I want
not actual people.
I want an Age of Sigmar
I'm not
Slaaneshi.
Slanesh, though. I'm just like, I want Fulgrim. He's
I
so cool.
want an Age of
him.
Sigmar Slaaneshi army. Just so
might
I can
eventually do it.
just so I can run like 8,000
You know what? I wish.
Daemonettes at people.
I wish that
Don't care.
Horde demons were more viable in 40k.
I wish all demons were viable in 40k.
I know.
The only demons that are really viable in 40k are Demon Princes and Plague Bearers.
I know. It's dumb.
Well, they're not the only ones that are viable.
It
They're
makes
the
me
most.
mad because like Horde
Well,
demons
you
are
put
so
them with
cool.
their Chaos Marine.
You know
Isn't it fine?
what's really not viable? Makes me mad that's not viable in 40k.
What?
The biggest, baddest, meanest, ugliest thing on the table that I can get is a Nurgle.
Granted Cleveland?
The Great and Clean one. They suck.
So are Bloodthirsters the same way.
Nah.
I want to throw a Bloodthirster tonight and just tear it apart.
Well, you can until you charge.
Sure, check.
And then when you charge your deck,
I want to take a Bloodthirster, run up to the knight, and be like, hey, I'ma kill you. And then kill it.
I wish that Demon Princes had more than one viable configuration in 40k.
Yeah, that also sucks.
Because I would love to run a Demon Prince of Nurgle with the Plague Spitter. I think that would be awesome. But it's just not viable. for its points, it's just not viable.
Yeah, that's what I worry about. Is like Angron's not good. Demon Primarch Angron isn't going to end up being viable, is he? Like,
I don't know.
because unless they do something,
Well,
to
he'll
fix
have a
the-
gun.
No, he won't. This is Angron we're talking about. He won't have a gun.
Anyway,
No, think about it. This is Angron we're talking about. If he has a gun, it'll be a freaking like pistol.
no, it'll be gauntlet-mounted storm bolters on both hands.
Maybe that would be cool, but I don't know, man.
What do you
The
asking?
Annihilation Barge.
Yeah.
Can I also build that? Because this is only one figure, and I want to be able to like.
Do you want to build your barge now?
Yeah.
Well, no. You gotta prime that and paint. You gotta prime and paint.
One figure.
Yeah, and when it's done, you can get one more. You can get next year.
Slash demons feel like the only ones that are kind of viable
I built the walls.
because being able to attack first, just it's.
But I'm gonna shoot them off the table every time.
Yeah, no, that's the issue.
That's the problem. Is
like
that
you.
in 40k, the only demons that are viable are the Nurgle demons because they have the feel no pain, the disgusting resilient.
Yeah,
The plague bearers because they're so hard to hit.
the Tanzagors are tactically count.
But the Zangors aren't demons.
Yeah.
No, they're not demons.
Are they really not? I thought we saw
No,
they
they're
were
another
demons.
race. They're beastmen, basically. Zangors are basically beastmen. No, you know the other one demons that are viable? Well, all the Nurgle demons, all those small things, like Nurglings are viable. Nurglings are viable. Plague bearers are viable. Although the flying ones are not.
Yeah,
But the other ones you see are the flame the flamers, the Zinch flamers.
yeah.
I've seen those do good work.
I want demons to be viable, like legitimately as a whole.
They were until 8th edition.
Yeah.
8th edition is the edition of shootiness. I mean that is, if there is a flaw in 8th edition, it is the fact that melee is absolutely unviable, and there are entire armies that are based around melee. Demons don't range weapons except for flamers. The flamers of Zangor.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that have range.
Yeah,
And really, you think about it, plague bearers are basically there just to tie their units up and hold objectives while you do stuff with your other characters.
Yeah.
You know?
I like melee. It's cool.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, again, if you think about it in a realistic manner, if you think about it in anything realistic, melee is dumb in the 40th millennia. People are walking around with Gauss rifles. I don't give a crap about your chainsword. I got a Gauss rifle, and I'm going to eliminate you from 3 miles away. And I know this from personal experience because I used to fire a rocket that I would shoot tanks from 3 kilometers away and destroy them.
Yeah, but range in 40k it doesn't work like that.
But I'm just saying range should work like that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. And range now in 40k does work like that. Look at the Tau. The Tau go, hey, guess what? We're going to shoot you and take you off the table.
Fair.
I mean, yeah, melee would be better. Melee could be better. If I have any complaint about Psychic Awakening for the Wolves, is the fact that they didn't really do much to make their melee better. I mean, they did a little. I guess their assault phase. I didn't really look at it that close because, or I did, but I don't remember it anymore now. But I mean, it's a little better, but you know. They don't even have. They should have a tactic. They should at least have a command point tactic that lets you not get Overwatch on them when they charge you, because they're just coming at you so frenzied. You just I can't get a beat on them or something.
Yeah.
But no, the freaking emo boys got one. The emo boys have a tactic that lets them avoid Overwatch.
That's fair.
Yeah, boys.
Oh,
Or
emo.
like they get like some bonus to their toughness while charging or something.
Or, bonus stuff is something.
Like, if you can't make it so they can't be Overwatch, because that would kind of nullify the Tau. Like, because the whole thing with the Tau being able to do...
But the Shadow Ravens have that ability. Literally, the Shadow Ravens have that
They
ability.
also have a lot less stuff.
No, they don't. They're like considered one of the top tiers of the Marines after they nerf the crap out of the Iron Hands. Their whole thing is they get to charge without Overwatch.
What I mean is they have less, they have less options compared to the Wolves. The Wolves have more options. And I mean a lot more options.
I utterly disagree with you. I utterly disagree with you.
All right.
I will show you the book right now. I utterly disagree with you. The only thing that the Wolves have for them that's really different as far as options compared to every other chapter is the fact that their tactical Marines get an extra attack because all of their tactical Marines get to carry chainsaws.
No, Slaanesh don't need anything. They need all die.
You know what Slaanesh needs?
Nothing. Death.
No.
Exterminatus.
Slaanesh needs more elves.
No. You silence child.
You know what's funny? When the lore was very different than what it is now.
Yeah, the Dark Eldar were...
No. I mean, when the lore was much different than it was now, I used to run a Blood Bowl team that was Slaaneshi Chaos, except I was using elves for all my players. Because Slaanesh was at that point still tied to the elves, but the whole deal was still a little ambiguous.
Yeah.
So it's like elves, when they went chaos, they went to Slaanesh. So I had a Slaaneshi. I had the pleasures of the flesh, a Slaaneshi Blood Bowl team based out of Hollywood, California.
You know what's a good game? Blood Bowl Chaos Edition. Blood Bowl 2 is okay as well, but Blood Bowl Chaos Edition.
Blood Bowl's great. The problem with Blood Bowl Chaos Edition is that you need to have all the freaking both the Blood Bowls. You have to have all the DLC, which is expensive for all the extra to get all the extra races.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing I don't like about Blood Bowl is that every additional race, for you to be able to play them, you have to get DLC, and you have to pay for each one of those individual DLCs. That's stupid.
Yeah. Sadly, modern gaming is a lot like that, and it's aggravating.
What's that?
A lot of modern gaming is like that. It's aggravating.
That's why I like Civilization.
Civilization has DLC too.
But it has 2, and then you have everything.
That's fair. Well,
2.
Gods and Kings, Brave New World. Could have sworn there was a third one.
No, I'm talking 6.
Oh, well, 6 is
2.
I mean, yes, but Civ 6 is also inferior compared to Civ 5.
But it's the current version.
That's true.
We are gamers. We love playing Civ. Civ 5 is especially was a lot of fun for the 2 of us. We used to play a lot of 2-on-2 games.
I really like the.
I think our best game we ever had of 2-on-2 was when we were playing. You were playing the Koreans and I was playing the Japanese. No, it was the other way around. You were playing the Japanese.
Yeah.
I was playing the Koreans.
You built our tech while I walked up to people and went, "Hi." So my unit is damaged, so it's actually more effective than it was before it was damaged.
I'm just going to keep pumping technology into him.
Last turn I had a samurai. This turn I have infantryman.
That was a fun game. I will never forget that game because it was just so funny. Because we were in like the 1400s and we were rolling tanks on Europe. It was hilarious. How did you develop tanks? Well, I kind of skipped the whole cavalry phase.
We took a while to get boats though. Like we just get boats for like half the game.
What do we need boats for? Okay, we can get shipping boats. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? We need tanks.
I enjoy Civ 5 a lot.
I enjoy Civilization. I think as a whole, the
I
franchise.
like a lot of grand strategy games like
I would love to see a 40K game based on like Civilization.
there is one.
Based on Civilization, where like you're okay. I have to look at that.
Yeah, Warhammer 40K Gladius.
I have to look
It's
at that.
Civ, but Warhammer.
I have to look at that one then, because that'd be kind of cool.
It's all ground based. Like it is, like it's all ground based. Basically all the different factions landed on the planet. And like they have bases and stuff. It's really cool. It's actually a lot of.
That sounds more like Warcraft than like Civilization. I'm saying I'm doing technology in my spacefaring races.
You want
and-
Stellaris?
Yeah, maybe.
Stellaris is.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it comes to grand sci-fi strategy, Stellaris is the king.
Now, on the other hand, I want to play Dawn of War.
Dawn of War is so good. The first one. Dawn of War 2 is a little bit is a little bit worse. And Dawn of War 3 is an actual trash fire. It's like when you go into an alleyway and you just see two guys like over a barrel and it's burning. It's like that right there is Dawn of War 3.
Well, that's mean.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's true.
It's still mean.
It's true.
Truth can be mean.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're coming to the end of our stream. It's coming up on 5 o'clock. We're gonna get some dinner and go watch a movie as a family. So again, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I want to thank everybody for coming in. We'll see you all on Tuesday for our regular Tuesday Taco Tuesday talk.
Except for me.
Till then, remember we have a Instagram. We have Twitter. I'm on. I have Instagram. I have Lady Dragon has Instagram. If it so tickles your fancy, we also have a Patreon. And as of this week, we have merch. So get us out on Teespring, the Gamecraft Dragon store. We have shirts. We have mugs. We have socks, because you got to put things on your feet. They were requested by Zane. That being said, as I always say, be good to each other. Epic your game, epic your life, and epic your table. Game on, folks. And be well.